What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 1007 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined today, the usual crew, James Dean Rader, back from EIWA's Bucknell Bison. To my left, from Hersheytown, Chocolatetown, USA, Tyler Meisinger. Get in on his salute. That's his, yep.
I don't know. Hopefully this doesn't offend the troops. I don't know.
Yeah, a little stolen valor-ish, because it's like you would never enlist. And of course, Mr. I coach all the greatest wrestlers in America. I don't know which one of my wrestlers is going to be the one seed at 165, but it's probably going to be one of them. My other pupil, Parker Keckeisen, dominated.
How good did Parker look last night?
So good. It was a masterpiece is what I thought.
Yes.
I mean, Dustin Plott is fantastic. That could be an NCAA final. It was like, boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
I mean, he was cutting him to push for a tech in the last minute of the match. You know?
He was. In fact, it was awesome.
That was crazy. Oh my gosh. What a weekend of wrestling.
It's almost too much. I was thinking about that last night.
Much.
Like, it's just too much to consume. I know my cat sat down to watch. One of my kids like, "You're watching wrestling again? How is it still on?"
It's an incredible weekend. Big Ten's wraps, then it kind of goes a little bit. There's a little overlap. ACC finals, Big Ten finals, ACC finals. Then had a little bit of time for Big 12 finals. And just what a incredible 2 days of wrestling, 3 days really, with the EIW starting Friday. But let's start at the Big Tens. That's where I was this weekend. Great tournament. I flew home this morning so we could get the show. Appreciate you guys letting us go a little later today. Thank you to Ben.
You know what? It was kind of perfect. We should just do that because, I was really hoping you had some flight delays. I was in the sauna. I'm like, I really don't want to get out of the sauna right now. And I was, you guys didn't respond to my text initially about if we're really going at 11 still. I was hoping let's go 11:15. Let's go 11:30. I want to stay in the sauna a little longer. But for the record, I did make it at 11 a.m. and there was technical difficulties, so I was not the reason we were late.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right at 11.
Hey, so, you guys missed it. When Ben first came on, he's had a towel wrapped around his shoulders. He was eating hot dogs, and then
it's a beef stick.
No,
those
are hot dogs.
Going carnivore, Christian.
Do you like it?
Christian, this is a beef stick.
It's a hot
dogs are carnivore.
Yeah.
I mean, the pork ones are kind of gross if you get all beef, maybe, but I don't really love those. I haven't went all carnivore, but I think the longest I did 3 or 4 days straight, which is carnivore.
Okay.
So I like it.
So you're kind of like, you're like a coastal grizzly bear, mostly meat, but every now and again, you're hoping for those fresh salmon, but every now and again you'll indulge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm dabbling. I'm seeing if I like it or not.
Okay, cool. All right. I don't even know how to even start this show, honestly, but
I think we just start from 125. The madness continues.
It was madness.
Awesome.
And yet I wasn't watching this like, oh my goodness. At no point in time
of course not.
A single result surprised me. It was notable. I mean, 1 vs. 2 wrestled, I think, for third. No 1 vs. 2 in America, I think, wrestled for third. Mm-hmm. It was Michael DeAugustino, he beat Drake. Dean Peterson beat Matt Ramos. And then you got to start and finish with Braden Davis and the job he did. Had for sure I don't know. You can't really even assess draws at 125 brackets because how do you say what's tougher? But,
seriously.
But all I know is he went through an All-American, 5th and 6th year guys. And
really, can I ask you a question about the Braden Davis Eric Barnett match? Because some of my wrestlers came over to watch it, and we were doing the multi-view type thing.
Yeah. Now
we could talk about the overtime call, but before that, Braden Davis takes him down in the second period, holds him on his back. They give 3 takedown, 3 near fall. Mm-hmm. A brick comes out, and I'm like, what is the brick coming out for? Yeah. Because it seemed to be obvious that he was on his back. And then they wiped the back points. So why did they wipe the back points in that scenario?
That was unclear to me. I don't know why they did that. It seemed to me like
did it look like back points to you?
Yeah, I mean, that one happened right in front of me. I thought it was definitely near fall.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was that changed it.
That was strange because I wanted to hear some type of explanation of like why they couldn't start counting right away, because it appeared obvious that he was on his back for, maybe they go from a 3 points to a 2 points or something to that effect, but it appeared that there was going to be near fall and it was obvious.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. And then it ends with a weird submission attempt thing from Eric Barnett.
I kind of hate this. Guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Because right now the gray area between a potentially dangerous call and an illegal hold, of which apparently this was. He did not, in fact, have a Kimura lock, which is what I thought he did have. All he did, he was holding onto the wrist.
Yeah.
That was it. And he did try pulling it in a way that the arm probably doesn't bend. But there's a lot of other scenarios in wrestling. Like, hold on, let me just finish one thought, and then I'll let you run. He pulled the arm in a way it doesn't go. But, and this is like they say, you can't go against a joint. Listen, if I take someone over in a hammerlock, I twist the neck in a way it doesn't like to go. If I take someone over in a bar, I bend the shoulder in the way it doesn't like to go. There are actually a lot of holds in wrestling in which we take the opponent in an uncomfortable manner. And that's the reason they go to the back, because if they weren't uncomfortable, they wouldn't go to the back. They don't want to go there.
Yeah. I don't.
What's illegal and what's potentially dangerous?
Yeah. I hear you. I don't know. I mean, I would say just the pressure against the joint is enough to merit it an illegal. And and this isn't really material to the broader conversation, but just for this match, it felt like that the result of Braden winning was the result of the action on the match, right? You can, whether you agree or disagree with the illegal, that takedown felt a little imminent. It felt like he had some near fall, so kind of came out in the wash, right?
So I agree, and that's what people probably weren't that upset about. It was because like the near fall got washed and it looked obvious, and then because the takedown likely was going to happen. But I talked about this the other day. At the end of the day, the referee, we want to have a consistent calls where we know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
And I am actually confused on what exactly will be called illegal and what will be called potentially dangerous. Because think about all the leg attack situations where they go against the joint. And then it's like, well, did they put themselves there or did I force them to be there? So is this illegal or is this potentially dangerous? Because we should have some clarification, because if I'm wrestling, I want to know what can I and what can't I do, and when will it and when won't it be called?
Yeah, that's fair. Davis goes on. He has a crazy match against D'Agostino, low scoring, goes into tiebreakers. And this was... So D'Agostino had first choice. He goes under. He gets out in around 5 seconds. And then immediately when that happens, you're like, all right, this is bad for Braden Davis, right? Like, and he gets out in exactly 5 seconds. They exactly zeroed out riding time. I couldn't believe, I mean, the savviness that he's showing as a true freshman is really, he can score points, but he's really good in like the kind of gritty situations as well.
Yes.
He continues to just be a total, I mean, just a shock to me that he's this good year one.
Because he was really, I don't really remember him. I think he was who's number one. I think he was really good, but maybe he wasn't like high on the pound for pound list. Am I right on that?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I had his losses. I mean, he had multiple losses, including one to Vinny Kilkiri last year.
And maybe one this year.
He lost to, I don't know if that counts, but he lost to good guys, but nothing like otherworldly. He had like 4 or 5 losses, I want to say.
He was not a top 5 big boy.
No, he wasn't like a Luke Lilladall or a Jax or a, he was good. He's really good high school wrestler that you thought could be productive at the Division I level, but it's just crazy to see him year one. And the fact that, Kale said it in, I think the media before, that they just kind of, they watched him and were like, he's going to be the guy. He's probably going to, they want the process to play out for Robbie and the rest of the guys there, but they had the feeling that he was going to be the guy right away. So, talked about his match against Patrick McKee where, he does it again, wins pretty dominantly, finishes with a big takedown at the end there.
Yeah, he's probably guaranteed not to win NCAAs now, though.
As the one.
So he'll probably be the 1 seed.
He should get it. It's him or Stanich, right? I feel like there's no other contender for the number 1 spot. It seems like they both have 2 losses, and it feels like Braden has more elite wins. So I believe he'll be the one.
Friend Daniel Abdel says Matrix will likely spit out Davis.
Then there you go.
All right.
I mean, he obviously can win a national title. There's no doubting that.
No, but we said this last week. The amount of parity at 125 is something like we've probably never seen before. If you said, okay, Braden Davis wins nationals, that's very reasonable, right? But if you said Braden Davis lost to Richard Figueroa, the 15 seed or 16 seed, right? I'm like, okay, I get it.
100%, totally agree.
Although Figueroa probably won't be 16 because he won PAC. So
I don't know, man.
I mean, he won't be high. He won't be high, but he'll probably be higher than that.
Yeah, but he could be at 8-9, and that could be a quarter.
Could be 8-9. Yeah, for sure.
Gonna be really interesting how the seeds, and it's also interesting like how it's so matchup reliant. Like Caleb Smith can beat just about anyone, but if he's against like a super good top guy like Pat McKee or Eric Barnett, he's like totally out of the match.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's weird. What's got you giggling? Because I didn't say anything funny.
Oh, this guy just posted in the chat. I'm on it watching us on FRL. I'm sorry, FRL on YouTube, and he said, Ben, turns out Ryder Rogotsky needs to concuss Bullock with an elbow in order to beat him.
This has been Tyler. Let's get on Tyler.
But no, this is Ryder Rogotsky, Christian. Kevin Mulder might not be familiar. Ryder Rogotsky is about as high and low as it gets. You'll see him take some butt whoopings, and then you'll see him be freaking totally amazing. So
roller coaster.
He may or may not get custom, but he's first team all roller coaster ever.
Ryder coaster. Yeah, he's
Ryder. What about him? Him and Saldano in the seventh place match.
They're crazy.
Yes, that was team roller coaster.
Tyler ranted and raved publicly and privately that the Bullock match had an asterisk because he was knocked.
He was elbowed in the head.
Oh, stop
in the duel.
whining.
He was knocked.
It was an accident.
And then he got teched.
You're being a whiner.
But then he won. At
he didn't say
tournament.
He didn't say it was intentional by Ryder.
No, I don't think he was. He did it on purpose.
Yeah.
And this is definitely Michigan Homer Tyler speaking.
Yeah. What were your
thoughts? I mean, you're proving our point. Michigan doesn't like tough wrestling.
Oh, come on.
Well, they did pretty freaking good. I think they placed higher at Big Tens than the Tigers did at Big 12s
Oh man, why you used to be shooting shots? Listen, I don't coach the Tigers, Christian Piles. I mean, yes, I'm very disappointed by the result.
You just supply their best wrestlers.
School. Well, I mean, if we would have got Mitchell there, they would have placed a little higher.
That would have helped.
That would have helped. Or Parker,
that would have helped also.
Yes.
Okay. I don't even know where to go. 33 or
more thoughts on 125. Ayala beats Ramos. I mean, Ramos is a guy we all have said we've kind of picked him as our favorite. And now I think our theory has been disproven. He lost 2 matches. I don't know what seed he's going to be. Probably somewhere between 5 and 8.
I would guess.
Yeah.
Still definitely win it.
Kevin Garnett, anything's possible.
I think if you put the five biggest guys on here for betting odds and you put the field is going to be the favorite by like minus 800 or something ridiculous.
I don't know. Is there a chance Braden is just that guy though? Like even though he's taken losses, is there a chance that he's a true freshman rounding into form?
There's not a chance. No
chance.
I'm disagreeing with you strongly. And my point of evidence will be he probably should have lost to Vinny Kilcuri. And if you had Vinny Kilcuri in the rankings, he'd probably be between 22 and 30, somewhere in there. So if you're saying, does Richard Figueroa or Jory Volk not have a chance of beating Braden Davis? I think you're wrong. I think there's a lot of people in this field who could beat Braden Davis.
Yeah.
I think Braden Davis obviously has a chance to win, and to the point where he's maybe the favorite. But is he that far and above everyone else?
No.
And the answer is no way.
Yeah,
no way.
I mean, when you said Jory Volk, I was like, oh, that's absolutely a coin flip match. Like Jory's
seriously, right?
Yeah, Jory's so good. And all these guys, I feel like every 25, even Figueroa at this point, I feel like every 25 is really battle tested. Like everyone's been in a bunch of tough matches. They've all beaten each other. And
when the top 20 are all about the same level, you get tough matches. It's not a scenario where your top 3 have separated themselves. So then
they
wrestle on number 17 guy. It's not necessarily you getting battle tested.
Yep.
Almost every match you get battle tested.
Dylan Chauver went absolutely beast mode at 133.
Oh, so beast mode.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, first of all, he had some tight ones. I mean, he had, I think Teskey
quarters. Was it quarters?
Teskey quarter.
No, Teskey was semis. It was Braxton Brown. He went to overtime.
Crazy close against Braxton. Crazy close against. I mean, the Teskey one. It looked like Teskey was almost in position to score that.
Hell yeah, he definitely was. There, I think Dylan Chauver took a few lessons with Brian Soldano because it appeared to be a butterfly guard sweep that he hit to get the reversal.
He went all the way under.
Really what it looked like.
Yeah, he went.
And when his foot was on the inside of the leg, and he pulled the arm, and he went that way with it.
It was wild, and you can re-wrestle that position, and man, it looked like Brody. Like, what should Brody have just like kind of sagged down lower, sagged his hips a little lower? Because
when someone's that when they're underneath you like that with their head, and if they know what they're doing, it can be kind of really annoying and really difficult to score. Actually,
yeah.
So yeah, and no, he definitely knew what he was doing. Yeah, but sag his hips back. Honestly, if they're good enough, you kind of got to let the head pop. Ideally, you'd like to keep the head squished against like 94% of people.
Yeah.
But if they're really tricky, you got to let the head pop and then attack the body and the legs, which is almost like, how about I know Tyler's gonna be so excited to brag about this guy, Will Lewan, the takedown Brayton Lee almost had on him. I think it was the semis.
Dude,
where he
that was nuts.
Jumps him on his hip and he just didn't finish running through him and he hipped up. It was like, holy crap.
Him and Bartlett, honestly, it's so interesting how their hips are really like they can be the most taken down. They can just.
You know who it reminded me of was Jaden Cox, kind of.
Okay.
The way he's able to just like fully be almost taken down and not get taken down.
Will's a really good athlete. He had a great tournament. I think him at the 7, I think we gave him proper respect as a guy that could go on, do exactly what he did. And he he wrestled Levi pretty freaking tough. Overtime match.
Yeah. You know what I thought, Christian? First of all, I don't know why Levi got called for stalling. That was preposterous. But
not quite
if you were
sure
paying
either.
attention, right after he gets called for stalling, about 10 seconds, he kind of walks backwards out of bounds. Just like he does. And this one's really weird to me why refs don't call it. I don't know. Because Younger did it also at the end, where they literally, I think they just forget where they're at, or I don't know what's going on exactly. Because it's not like they're trying to evade anything in particular, but they literally just walk backwards straight out of bounds. And it's like, if that rule couldn't be written more clearly, that should be a stall call. And so Levi did that, and I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna ding him. He's gonna be down 2-1.
That would have been crazy.
That, yeah.
That would have been nuts.
Do you guys remember him walking straight backwards out of bounds?
I don't.
I do.
Wow.
Yes. It was like 10 seconds after he gets called for stalling.
Holy cow. No, I don't remember that.
Crazy.
But yeah,
that we skipped to 57. Should we? I think before we leave 33, we should talk about Buzakis and how the structure of the bracket.
Oh, Christian called it. Christian called it.
Well, first of all, before we get into that, the Chauver tech of Dylan Ragusin. I mean, I thought that was like an OW worthy.
I don't think it was a tech. I think it was like 22-8.
Look it up. It was like 20-4.
No, it's 23-8. 23-8. It's tech fall.
I'm gonna choose to remember that differently.
Tyler, I will bet you whatever amount of money you want on this.
I just remember it different.
You can't change. It's his memory.
Yeah,
that's his property. If you try to change his memory, technically that's stealing. So yeah, I mean, listen. Here's the thing: you could say, "Oh, great matchup or great performance." Ragusin had beaten him twice in like really close matches, and then he just blitzed him. Just beat him. And every time Ragusin would score and kind of make it like not close, but like, okay, maybe this is trending the other way. And then boom, he win a flurry and put him on his back. And then the final flurry he wins, gets the tech.
Yes.
And
let me ask you this.
Okay.
What you said about Braden Davis. I think you could maybe actually say that about Ryan Crookham. And that is so crazy. Insane to say with Vito and Fix in the bracket, because Fix got taken down by Frost at the end, and he won a couple scrambles where Frost was deep in on the legs. Like Crookham feels kind of like the obvious favorite to me at this point in time.
I don't think that's crazy.
And I wasn't saying that last week.
No,
Dayton. I don't think he's an obvious favorite.
Well, here's the
Dayton in the field.
Here's the thing, and I did that video and I picked Dayton as my new the guy I was picking to win NCAAs. I don't like what's happening in these third periods of good matches. I didn't like what I saw in the Teskey. Well, Teskey match, he's tired late. Evan Frost, he's tired late. I think he.
Talking about with Dayton Fix.
Yeah, I'm talking about Dayton.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, and I'm saying that's uncharacteristic of Dayton, and I don't know what once you kind of throw it out a couple times and you start to sort of, it becomes a trend. It becomes something more notable than a one-off result.
Yeah.
And Ryan Crookham has done. He's answered every question. He's answered the toughest question twice now, and he's just an excellent athlete. He's really good at getting to legs. He's really good at finishing. He's hard to take down. I feel like
I did think he could have been dinged for stalling once or twice in the third. Yeah. How'd you feel about it? Vito was really pressing, and he was really backing significantly. How do you feel about that?
Maybe you could have hit him again, but he also was liking to operate from space. I didn't know if Vito was pushing the issue quite enough to merit that.
I mean, I don't feel crazy about it, but I feel like they definitely could have done that, and no one would have been all that upset.
No. The question for me is, Mike Gray says Vito will be fine, but I saw some things, even not just in his
correct.
I don't know about
the American match.
Yeah, American, and he was doing this. And listen, Vito is an unorthodox. He has his own vibe and style, but he was doing this real upright stance thing a lot of times, and I did.
He's doing it with Crookham too.
Yeah, I don't get it. And it makes me think there's an issue there, and I'm pretty sure there is.
I feel like if the Olympic trials wasn't a month after NCAA's, I would put all my money on Vito still. But in my opinion, you got to feel like his focus is on freestyle. He's gonna be not going like. I feel like if this is the last tournament, then like sometimes guys can just like mentally figure it out, like put it together. But I think in Vito's case, the NCAA's tournament is not his priority this year. It's got to be Olympics, and getting down to 57. That's just my opinion.
It could be. I mean, that's just hanging over him and Dayton's head, and I don't know how much you can say I'm focused on this, and and then I'll turn my focus. But yeah, maybe that is.
I've been saying it for the whole year. Should have Olympic redshirted.
Yeah, I mean, that may have been the move. But yeah, so I think making Crookham the favorite on paper, what he's done this year, I don't disagree with that at all. He's
how about Teskey and Bouzakis though? How awesome
well,
is that?
it's exactly why people thought I was making excuses for Iowa and Tom Brands. It's like, no, guys, it's not that. You seed it right when you can, and you had a week to do it, and they should change. I get it, deadlines and nerds hid behind bureaucracy and
nerds
and a asinine rule that has no relevance to the tournament and how it's run. And you can hold that up, and you could be, maybe you're winning some nerd argument, but you're not right. You're not
you're
right.
A bully, Christian.
You're not.
Right
you're not
you are
right.
Such a bully.
Brody Teskey should not wrestle
nerd argument.
Nick Bouzakis. I'm supposed
hey,
to be
if
the
I do
rules
have
guy.
to have a comeback to you on this one, I'm going to push back a little bit. Because I think when Jaden Coxmas wins by a few minutes, you were like, it's a rule. It should be held up.
Well, weigh-ins I think is a totally different. You think you should get?
Why? It's only 10 minutes. Small bureaucratic.
That is such a mind-numbing comparison. Okay, thank you. My gosh, I was like, Ben.
Listen. I kind of think I can see both sides of the Jaden Cox argument, and on the Teskey thing, I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
I just want you to keep yourself honest, though.
All right, I am. I'm.
Hey, JD, when I leave the show, if he's ever out of pocket, you bring me back on the show. I'll
you know
keep
what?
This man honest.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Ben, because you guys love to gaslight me all the time, and you did this thing with my.
You're crazy.
Listen to this. So I'm at Big Tens, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, I listen to every show." He's like, "You're right. You never sold anything for Meyer Shapiro. You said
full of
that's bull.
And he used the exact words I said. He said, "You just stopped accumulating. You stopped purchasing more stock." And I said, "Thank you." I said, "Well, I sit here and
in our virtual world, that is selling stock."
And they
go from
I
he's
wish I
gonna
had the
win.
document.
You guys know nothing about stocks. Clearly.
I know about Bitcoin. We're at the all-time high. I thought about not showing up for work today.
I know
Yeah.
all
I'm
about
throwing
this
myself
FRL
away.
stock.
Yeah.
Virtual FRL stock. Have you sold?
No. And I'm so thankful.
We all know it.
I'm gonna
You
need.
know it.
Well, we know this guy's
We
never
know
gonna
it.
have my back. Tyler just wants to sabotage me at every turn.
That's true.
Okay, he at least admits it. These guys try to act like, no, you said it, Christian, you did. So
You did say
that's
it.
going to be the new dynamic. Is that I need to either get someone on my side, or honestly, you know what? These numbers make it fair. So let's go. It doesn't even matter.
The YouTube chat is really talking about how JD is buying into denim stock today.
Yeah,
I've been on. denim
he's
stock.
been on that
is
denim
true.
grind,
He's in it.
man. He's got his Riddell shoes on. You know he's not messing around today.
Classic Canadian tuxedo with the wolf shirt.
Yeah, that's great. I like how he calls them woofs.
No L.
He's like an 8-year-old. Hey, Dad, I saw a wolf.
It's like that the website that Ryan made in the office, wolf.com.
Wolf.com. Yep. It's just like that. So yeah, Buzakis loses in incredible fashion.
Or Teskey, baby.
Teskey.
Or Dodge.
Teskey had a great tournament, but
Yes.
I mean, it's the classic. You're getting cut. You just got to keep your head away from your knee, and then the near side cradle, and then the almost reversal.
Yo, his arms had to be so gassed after holding that cradle for 40 seconds.
He
or
made a
whatever.
face at one point. Teskey was like, he's like, I don't know how much longer you can hold on. And you got, mutant strength Buzakis fighting like crazy. That was a great match. I would have said this will 100% be the greatest match of Big Tens until Mitchell goes crazy. Let's just talk about that match.
Talk about that.
I like
Teskey,
talk about
Teskey
it.
Bounce around.
backside match?
Bounce around. I mean, the Van D thing.
Yeah, the Van D.
Just let it flow. Let it flow. We'll get back to it, but I said
Van
it.
D, he's great.
Yeah, Van D's good. But the match of the, before we talk about consolation quarterfinal matches, let's talk about Mitchell Messenbrink. Frickin'
Let's go.
from the I won't say from the grave because you don't count it.
Not from the grave.
Not from the grave.
Not from the grave.
Not the grave. But it was.
I was mad. Jim Gibbons got to do his homework. I think it was Jim Gibbons at least, although I couldn't see him. He said, "Oh, Mitchell's in deep waters. He's a freshman. I don't know if he can handle this." And I said, "You idiot! Mitchell rents a freaking apartment at Mariana's Trench. Have you never watched this man wrestle before? Like, this man's a shark. He lives in deep waters."
Yeah.
And just the way he
Good
wrestles too, you
God.
knew you can't count him out.
Yeah. And what I wasn't factoring in was which is dumb, but him being able to transition takedown right into catch him and hold him on his back. 'Cause I was like, it feels like he's gonna have to Hammond's gonna have to fall off, and he's gonna have to just do catch and release the whole time. And then
Yeah, I mean, guys, that's the thing. That's the thing with Mitchell is he gets you tired. He's gonna get himself tired, but he lives in deep waters. He's just gonna keep going when he's tired. It's not an issue, And he has the ability to just score and score and score, right? So
Yeah.
even if he's down by a couple, like he could reel off 3 takedowns in 30 seconds or 45 seconds and it not really be that amazing. Once he gets you that tired and he's that quick, it's gonna be boom, 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 So it's like I had someone tell me, "Oh, he got lucky. Hamidi went to his back on that one." It's like, no,
What?
if that didn't happen, he would have got multiple takedowns if he needed to after that. There is no doubt in my mind at all.
Yeah, it was just crazy how quickly the switch flipped. Because it seemed
Mhm.
it was just going so the other way. And then boom, he gets a takedown
Yes.
at the end of that period, and you're like, all right, this is life. And then next thing you know, it just happened so fast. And then once he put him
Yeah.
on his back, you're like, all right, he's got it. I mean, just
Yeah. So, I mean, there was the takedown, the second takedown that Hamidi got. Mitchell had a good attack and he was close and kind of like made a little mistake and lost the scramble. And so he would have been 3 and instead was down 6-1,
mhm.
And, that I alluded to it earlier about, sometimes Mitchell goes underneath and he knows it. He's not scared, right? He goes underneath and gets stuck underneath and maybe gives up some points there.
Mhm.
But you also have to be able to wrestle 7 minutes at that pace. And if you can't do that, you're not going to beat him. You're just not. And Hamidi, although he has a good gas tank, was not ready to compete with Mitchell that hard for 7 minutes.
Yeah, it was a performance of the tournament. I felt match of the tournament, and it sets it up. And I asked Mitchell about it. I don't know if he liked the question too much, but I got to ask. I don't think he liked that I asked about Keegan, but it's notable. And now
You freaking Flow guys always looking for clickbait.
it's not clickbait. It's the thing on everyone's mind, and it's that potential match.
What did you ask him? What did he say?
He was like, he was not mad or anything, but he was like, it's no different. I wrestle teammates every day in practice. Well, it's kind of different, but because like those aren't matches, those are practices. But I get the broader point, and that's probably what. Man,
but they're going to be number 1 and 2 now, so that's
Yeah.
great. No match until the finals. You know, if one of them had faltered a little bit, it could have been on the same side.
Yeah. Instead, it's going to be Keegan and David in the freaking semis now.
Most likely.
And after last night, I'm feeling more comfortable about that because Keegan looked really good. I know Carr's really good and he's still a threat, but Keegan he wrestled in all positions he needed to. And with Mitchell, Ramirez, he's tricky, but he can't wrestle 7 minutes that hard.
No.
And, if you go watch the Keegan match, Ramirez falls off hard in the third period.
Yes. Yeah, he did. Man, it was unbelievable. Yeah, that performance. And let's talk about Keegan's performance against Carr. He comes out, he wins. He gets the first takedown off just to kind of a reattack.
Man, well, let's start before that though. I told Keegan that scramble, and it was kind of static, so maybe people don't view it as that amazing because they're not tuned into the nuances. But when David Carr shot head inside, Keegan slipped it to head outside and went to like a crotch lock Chirella type position, head outside Chirella type position. And they were there for 45 seconds. Dude, there was some really high level stuff going on there. And I don't know if people it probably wasn't enough for people to pick up on the nuance of it, but that was some really high level wrestling on both parties. I mean, I told Keegan, like, I thought you had the takedown. I was really impressed with what David Carr was doing there to not give up a takedown. And then they got there again in the third period, and Keegan even got over the leg on that one. And Carr was, holding on like this, and Keegan wasn't able to. And then Carr got his head back up, which was super high level. But then Keegan was able to do a little bit of trickery in order to get the takedown for that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that first scramble because it was crazy and it did
really
seem like
good.
Because Keegan's trying to beat the shoulder and he even got it kind of beat at one point, and you thought it's coming, and then somehow Carr's able to like get his shoulder back in position,
and that happened like 2 or 3 times.
And like basically, typically once the shoulder's beat, it's over. And yeah,
it was really high level wrestling on both parties.
Really impressed from David kind of thwarting that off, but. Coach Dresser said, his takeaways are, we got to be more head inside than outside. We don't want to be head outside against this guy. The question is,
so Keegan was. They weren't trying to go head outside.
Yeah.
Keegan was trying to force it outside. And in the first match, they wrestled, I think Keegan underestimated David so good once he gets to the corner. And I literally used him as an example for a bunch of my athletes. Is like. When we run that corner, if David gets there, he's 100%. He beat Keegan there. If you're beating Keegan there, you're beating everybody there once he gets to the corner, right? Yeah. And so, Keegan realized that, and he realized, I can't let this guy get to the corner. And so that's where he's at. That's where he's at. He didn't let the guy get to the corner, and he forced the head outside and was able to win that position.
2 counter takedowns for Keegan.
Yes.
Do you think we see Carr take a more reserved approach and tries to really? Because the first shot was really. It was.
I think it's gonna be hard for him to take a more conservative approach because he also knows if Keegan gets to his legs, it's going to be likely that Keegan scores there as well. So it's tough for him to want to do that.
Yeah. Okay, so great. It's cool we got to see that, and we may see it again. Although not
likely in the. So it's probably going to go Keegan, Mitchell, Ramirez, Carr, Hamidi.
Yes,
I think so.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what it will probably be. I think it would probably take committee intervention to switch Mitchell and Keegan if they wanted to make Mitchell the 1.
I don't think there's any reason to do that too. It's like Keegan's. Where it gets interesting,
defending national champ.
Yeah. Where it gets interesting, or I don't think you go with that, and that's where it's an interesting debate happening right now because in a couple weight classes you have a more established guy that finishes undefeated, and you've got a guy that has had a tougher schedule. The best example right now is Younger and Kirkfleet, whereas Kirkfleet preseason,
that match was awesome too.
incredible. Kirkfleet's preseason number 1, runs the table, no problem. Younger has literally beaten like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like everyone else but himself. And so he's had a much tougher schedule than Kirkfleet. Also, Kirkfleet is harmed by the fact that the All-Star match doesn't count for his record or for seeding, so he doesn't get the credit of the Hendrickson win, which is Bastida's best win. So on paper, there's no doubt that Younger has had a more impressive run.
And he will come out ahead of Kirkfleet in the Matrix.
Yeah. So the question is, that's where you think committee intervention, do they bump Kirkfleet up? I don't really have a strong opinion either way. I think.
But wait, why is Mitchell's, and listen, either 1 and 2, I don't really care, but why would you argue that Mitchell's schedule is stronger? Because Keegan's had
I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Olesnik twice, Carr, Hall. I feel like there's someone else good in there. I mean, Mitchell, we didn't even talk about Mitchell smashed Caliendo like no one smashed Caliendo. That was so impressive.
Yeah, that was really impressive. Well, yeah, Mitchell's big wins are Caliendo twice. He beat Amin
Twice.
and he beat Hamady. Yeah, I think that Keegan has better wins. I don't think there's any scenario Mitchell bounces Keegan. But there are scenarios like Crookham Dayton where Dayton better.
Right, Dayton's undefeated.
Dayton's undefeated. Ryan Crookham's undefeated. Crookham tougher schedule. I would say indisputable.
Beat Vito twice.
Vito twice.
And
They had
wrestled against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, they had the duel. Now that does not factor into any of the math that goes into
Correct.
seeding, but it's implanted in the minds. But you've got Dayton is the higher returning guy. He's been number 1, didn't lose, but he didn't get to wrestle at Vegas because of injury, and that trickled into his duel. He missed some duel meets, so it's curious what they'll do there. I honestly don't know what they're gonna do. I don't have a guess even.
I think
Not even a guess.
I think Nomad was saying Matrix spits out Dayton
There you go.
as the 1, but
Interesting.
what they go committee intervention to make Crookham the 1.
Yep. So we're bouncing around, and I love it.
Vito's going to be down
41.
at 4 or 5.
Yeah,
He won't be the 3.
because it'll be who? Orini?
Kai?
And then where does Shaver go now? I mean, this
Really?
is
Shaver
I mean,
probably goes at 4 or 5.
Ragusin was looking like a semifinalist all year long, and now you've got Shaver coming on when it matters.
Wait,
most.
so who did you wait? So you put Vito down below Arini? Is that what you did?
That's what
The Matrix.
Nomad is saying the Matrix is going to spit out because Vito didn't wrestle that many matches, didn't get that many quality wins, suffered 2 losses, wasn't a conference champ. So
I mean, his best. I think his best win is like Nasir Bailey, and he does not have.
And you put Nasir at 5.
Wow, maybe Crookham. I don't know. I mean, not Crookham. Shaver.
Shaver. I mean, Bailey's 24 and 2. Only losses are Serrano and Vito.
Dang.
Has a tech fall over Evan Frost, which looks good because Dayton just beat Evan Frost by a couple points. Doesn't have any other.
Who did Nasir lose to at
Super
12s?
you mean Pax?
No, Nasir won. He won
Pax.
tech
Oh,
tens.
yeah.
He won.
Oh my gosh. In my brain.
He won.
Sorry, I got up at 3:45 this morning, so I get a couple of those. All right, 41. You know what we should have done to be smarter is just kind of go through every weight for like and hit all the conference.
All
kinda
conferences.
little bullet-
Well, we kinda did
I
that
was
at
trying to
33
guide you
because
guys
we
to that,
bounced
but
over.
you guys were just
We're just bad boys for life.
I just kind of let you run wild.
We kind of did that at 33 because we talked about
Yeah.
Fix and Frost, and we talked about Vito and Crookham.
Real quick, 25. Figs wins Pac-12s. Volk from the 5 wins Big 12s. Takes out Spratley late. Just an exciting finish there where he gets.
Yes.
Spratley got one for stalling, or maybe it was. Yeah, I think it was Spratley got one for stalling, and then Jory like shoots through his face and gets a takedown and rides him out. That's the main notable stuff there. 33, Dayton beats Frost. Looked a little tired. Crookham beats Vito again. Those are kind of the main things. We talked about the murderous run of Dylan Shaver and Teskey's crazy match against Jake Van D, where he had seemingly won the match twice. He was awarded near fall.
That match was wild.
At the end of regulation, they challenged it, wiped the near fall, overtime. He's awarded the takedown in overtime. They challenge it. They go back and award Van D the takedown, and Teskey
I did
loses.
kind of think, I kind of thought that was a takedown Van D before. That was my general feeling watching it. But then I don't know, for something about it where I hate it when they let him keep wrestling and then the other person ends on top and then they say, nah, actually, we're going to go the other way.
Well, I think there's something to be said for wrestling out the situation, and then,
Yes.
but yeah, I don't know.
If you call 2 right away there, and then don't give Teskey
3.
the option to score, where he obviously ended up getting on top, that's where it's worse.
I was worried Caleb Piles was going to storm the Capitol after that one. It was, he was going so nuts.
You were talking about Shaver having a high seed at Nationals. He does have a pretty bad loss to Braden Basile of Army West Point.
Whoa.
Oof.
And
Loss doesn't count.
also lost to Minnesota's
Wells?
Tyler Wells.
Yeah, he has 2 losses to Ragusan. He lost to Latona, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he could just be like a nightmare, like 7 or 8. If he's an 8 and he's on the same side as 1, he's hot. He's hot right now. All right, 41.
What a weight.
Oh my gosh, man,
What a
Mendez
weight.
Mendez got it done. Dog for sure. He beats Real in like I've never seen Real. I mean, Sergio Limley beat Real, kind of bad in the duel, but the way Mendez scored those 2 takedowns, just to physical him and just like boom, short offense. It was so impressive how he beat Real. And then he takes out Bo Bartlett in what we assumed would be a close match, and it certainly was.
Absolutely. No, that bracket was so much fun to watch. You guys mentioned Mendez Woods was fun. Bartlett Lemley was crazy. Lemley Hardy was crazy, where Lemley won literally with maybe 1 second left.
Yes.
If I had to comment, that match is one of them, but there were a lot of them. Guys, for God's sakes, if you hold on to a leg and just buckle down, the other guy can do some things. So, keep wrestling. And that was Hardy. He had the single leg. He tried buckling down, and Lemley was able to kick off and then wrestle back, and they get a takedown. I saw that so many times this weekend where there was we'll say 10 to 15 seconds left, and the guy thought, I'm just going to hang on.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work out.
Yep.
It's such a bad strategy. Got to keep freaking wrestling.
Yeah. Agree with that. And the backside battles here were nuts too. I feel like Limley and Real had a close
11-8.
Yeah, another exciting match.
11-8, yep.
Hardy and Woods had a challenge. I mean,
Always crazy.
That match, there was
That
just
one's always
challenge.
crazy.
They were just alternating bricks, and they kept getting them. They were right, so they get the bricks back. I will say the bricks were obnoxious.
Do you think there should be a penalty? Let's just pass. Do you think there should be a penalty for bricks, a la freestyle, to warrant it being more strategic rather than just might as well throw it out there?
Well, they only got 3, right? If they got them wrong, they got them taken away.
I think they get more than 3, but
Really?
I think so. My gosh, if they only got 3,
Well,
Wait.
that's enough. They're right a lot of the time, and
Yeah,
that's
that's the thing.
one of the referees should take if you're getting challenge bricks thrown and the challenge bricks are right, 50% of the time, man, you need to reevaluate that.
Well, another thing that we saw here is, we always talk about these guys are reviewing their own calls and the
Yes.
obvious bias. I mean, we saw that at the Penn State Ohio State duel. But we had an independent review here, and it changed a lot of calls. And I think
A lot more.
a lot more. I'm sure the percentage is different, which should call into the necessity. Maybe I don't know if necessity is maybe too strong.
No,
word,
you're
but
right.
for independent
Necessity.
review at all
Good
times.
word.
Yeah. So should at least be looked at. I don't think it's some logistical impossibility. We only wrestle really on 3 days of the week. You should be able to figure out some way to a video feed. It's 2024.
Yes.
We're launching rockets into
Yes.
space. I think we can send.
You guys
wrestling
really
videos.
should. I wonder if could you guys put your quant division on the amount of bricks thrown and the amount of calls overchanged versus the regular season when it's not independent review?
Tyler heads up our quant division now, so we can turn that around EOD.
Yeah,
Tyler,
yeah.
put the quants on that.
He's got it.
I got quants
He's
down.
got a team of quants.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing a hat today. It's throwing me off.
Yeah, I don't usually do that.
Yeah, it's a wild move. Is your dye job off or something?
Yeah, it's just like it's getting.
Oh
really,
yeah, he's mailing it. It's very,
Oh man.
it's looking
Well,
like frosted
I was
tips.
thinking
Yeah.
maybe too many other athletes dyed their hair blonde for
what is that?
for the
I
end of
love
the year,
it.
so he's it's
He's
so
just getting that
dumb.
I wanna be
postseason
me.
spirit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more ready for the postseason than anyone in this room right
Tyler
now.
lives that
Like,
March
I'm-
lifestyle year round.
Yeah, it's March year round for Tyler because
Right.
he's always ready. Yeah, I love the Iowa State blonde. I think that's
All right.
pretty
I think you should
How
only get
about
one challenge per
Etchemendia?
match. win or
Etchemendia
lose.
looks-
well. I
Oh,
don't.
I
If
think-
you win the
I love
challenge,
it
you
where
got
they
to
only
keep
get a
it.
certain
Yeah, but
amount.
it's a match pacing thing.
I know, but
No,
if the
I
ref keeps
disagree,
blowing
JD.
calls, how can you say I can't
That's
challenge?
showbiz, baby.
No, it's not showbiz. It's
No.
sports.
No,
Yeah, that
it's
is
not
sports.
showbiz.
It's not Love is
Sports.
Blind.
That is sports. Sometimes
Love
refs
is
don't get
blind.
make the right call.
You like that? I don't. All right, 41.
No,
like, I don't
I
think
love
they
the
should-
amount for the tournament. But I wish if they did the amount for the tournament for freestyle, it'd be great. But the problem is they don't track it, so there's these knucklehead coaches. They get one a match. JD, do you realize how many that adds up to? Like, if they just keep getting it wrong, they could get like 15 wrong the whole weekend.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, a
Big Ten
youth tournament
coaches
is a
get, like-
different scenario. I'm talking.
3 or 4 or 5
College
wrong.
match.
If you get
I'm
that
not
many
talking
wrong,
about
you don't
youth.
get any more. Sorry.
I'm talking
I
about.
wish they did that in freestyle.
Yeah.
It'd be
Okay.
Amazing.
41. Anything else with?
Sorry, am I too excited for you this morning, Christian Piles?
No, it's good. It's like I don't have to comment on everything. We've already exhausted the topic. Yeah, everyone knows how we feel
Okay.
about challenges now.
All right, so let me ask you this: 41. Is it going to be obviously Mendez should probably go 1?
Yep.
But then how does Jack won the ACCs, correct?
Yes, I think he.
Erroneously, maybe.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That was a weird call. I'm not certain that was a takedown. Did you see that exchange, Ben?
I did not see this. I did not subscribe to the ACC network or wherever the hell it was.
Or,
No respect for the
or,
ACC.
or Twitter.com where the
Twitter. I'll go check it.
Yeah,
formerly known as
I'm
Twitter.
sure you'll find it really quick.
Okay.
So that was
and-
weird.
And Etchemendia, man, he looks really good. I think he's a threat to any. I really think he's a threat to any of the top guys.
Yes, I think he matches up good against all. I think him versus Jesse, very interesting. Bo for sure. Real, we've already seen he can wrestle with Real Woods, and
Yes.
yeah,
As much as it pains me to say it, and actually I don't know if it pains me because I don't know if I dis. Dresser got them boys at Iowa State ready to wrestle.
yeah,
They really wrestled well at Big 12s, and it's like
As much as it pains
Younger had some. Younger had some struggles. Well, if they're doing well, it means Missouri's not doing that well, unfortunately. But like Younger had some struggles, Etchemendia had some struggles, and they're both wrestling really well. Swiderski wrestles hard, Chittum wrestles hard. Like they got a bunch of guys who are doing pretty good.
they're wrestling really well.
First Cyclone Big 12 title since 2009. First outright since 2008.
Yeah, first
Dang,
of Dresser's
crazy.
tenure. Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
JD, how happy are you?
Wait, we were okay.
I'm pretty happy.
Happy. Well, you had mentioned about 41 seeds and
What's your ideal seating scenario that sets up the semis you want to see in what you want to wait till the finals? Like, what match do you want to see? Like, is it Etchemendia Mendez
I want that.
as a
I
final?
think that's a crazy final. I want like Bartlett, Etchemendia, and Mendez.
Woods again?
Yeah, maybe Woods.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jamison's going to drop way down because he lost. Edmund actually finally had a really good tournament. He took 3rd. So I would imagine Jamison drops down to like 11, 12, somewhere in there.
Yeah, possible.
And Lemley's a landmine for someone. He's going to be a
Yes.
little lower. So is Brock Hardy. He's a landmine. Cornella, didn't he default out of EIWA?
Yeah, he's hurt.
He's not going.
He's not going to.
He's not going to NCAs?
I mean, I would be surprised.
Oh wow, that bad, huh?
Really?
You mean you don't think he's getting a
Wow.
bid, or you think he will not be physically able to compete? What are you saying?
Both. I mean, he'll probably get that large. But I don't know. He'll probably
JD,
go.
why
out
are
there.
your shorts so short?
They're not that short. Mid thigh.
I just
They're
look
short.
how short this man's shorts are.
Lieutenant
What's he
Dangle.
trying to
Chin
do over
seam,
here?
it's what's in.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dangle over here.
Just
You look
man-spreading.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm getting
it.
scrunched up because I'm sitting.
What's weird because he wears giant shirts. I don't understand.
Giant shirts, tiny
giant
shorts.
shirts, tiny shorts, and
Look, it's called fashion. Look it up. Ben, you don't know about it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I got great fashion.
Someone
I'm
pull-
still wearing the same Rudis shorts that they don't.
I
make
have
anymore.
great fashion. Rudis mails me stuff. It all comes in
Thank
the
you,
mail.
Brutus.
Thank you. It's the only reason he has a shirt on this show.
Josh, find the photo of Ben on like the UFC like red carpet in his
Yeah.
flip-flops.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny.
It's funny to
They
like the
made me
people
wear
that
that.
don't know you, and
That
then
was the only clothes I had. I'm not buying new clothes to go to a damn press conference. So then next time I said, I'm just gonna wear a t-shirt and jeans.
I respect
Suck
it.
it.
and it's just so funny to see like the UFC casuals like jump on you that don't know you.
Yeah.
Just like this is perfectly Ben.
Well, wasn't that the one condition you would do the awards at NCAA's is that you'll be allowed to wear flip flops?
I'm wearing my sandals. They try doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not
He's not-
showing up. They only no closed-toed shoes.
Yeah. That's
You're leaving money on the table, Ben.
Hey, you actually referred to
Heat finder.
that match, but that was Arrington Henson.
Yeah. Yes, that was.
Which we can get to. I mean, I think we talked 41 enough. 49.
41. Fun weight class.
The Henson Arrington match is kind of the talk of ACC. They're kind of both in like that. I'm sure Ben has some really technical name for it, but they're both kind of head outside on like a high crotch position. It was.
Ooh, that's a fun position. That's what I was kind of thinking. Keegan maybe should go there. It's a little more risk because you're putting it in a 50-50. So it's, are you better there?
Yeah.
Because if you're not better there, you should probably stay where Keegan was against Carr. But if you are better there, then swim that sucker in. And then there's definitely more opportunity for scoring, but there's more opportunity to get scored on.
Yeah. So it was weird because now you got me messed up. Arrington kind of steps over the foot.
I just texted it to you, Ben, so you can watch it.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Appreciate it.
it's a tight one. But we can bounce around while Ben reviews our footage.
I did not think it was a
View
takedown.
the footage.
Yeah, I did not either.
Oh.
In fact, it almost looks more like a takedown.
Where they're at right
for
now,
Henson.
they're in this.
Well, you'll see when they award it.
Ooh. Oh.
We're watching Ben watch.
There was also controversy
So exciting.
at 149 in the Big 12s with the Swiderski Jordan Williams match. Did you see this?
I did.
Oh, that match was wild.
it was
dude.
wild. I thought it was. I mean, they hit Williams plenty for stalling.
But the takedown and the no locked hands call.
Okay, maybe I missed this part. I just kind of went.
It was a crucial part of the match.
Okay. Well, there was
Williams
a lot of,
his stalling was crazy. I mean, he was just going literally straight out of bounds.
Yeah.
And he was taking forever to get back to center. It was very egregious.
Well, I thought the worst part was when they gave Jordan the takedown. Maybe it was a takedown, not an egregious call, but he obviously locked his hands right
Okay.
after.
I guess I need.
And they reviewed it, and it was right there on camera, and they didn't call locked hands.
I did not see that part.
I say no takedown in this Henson versus Arrington.
Okay.
Thing. He's not. He's perpendicular. He's not even close to behind him.
Yeah, I don't know why or how, and I don't know if there was a challenge. I'm kind of, we were coming back from Big Tens. I plan to get caught up on everything this week, but it's not easy.
So there's so much stuff.
There's so much, and it's all
much.
It's all relevant, so you feel bad, but man, you can't. Yeah. Anyway,
I kind of wish.
Hey, Love it versus Gomez was a lot of fun.
great match.
That was a battle.
Great job by. Well, let's think. What led into that? Not a
What matches or
Love it beat Kasich and Gomez beat one of the Millers from
Yeah,
Maryland.
so okay, we can just focus on the final there. Yeah, I mean Gomez gets the first takedown, and then Lovett responds with the front trip, gets a takedown. Gomez ends up, Ridge goes down, gets an escape. Then they go neutral in the third, and man, they had that exchange where it was like, it looked like someone for sure was going to get thrown in, but they end up kind of going out of bounds and no one scores. But really fun match, and I think if you're a Michigan man, I think you feel like, hey, we narrowed the gap a little bit. You had a weird week with Olympic qualifier, and now, man, you narrowed it. But for Ridge, I think he's, he bounces back from the Parco loss. I think he should be the 1 seed, and
Yes.
he's the favorite. I think at 49, but man, it's the margins are razor thin there.
It's like the opposite
agree.
of Monday morning quarterbacking because Ridge won. He made the right decision. But would you have picked Tomp
I asked him about that.
in the second?
So they thought about. They were like 0-0. You should listen to the interview. I interviewed Ridge and asked him this exact question.
I refuse to listen to any interview you ever do, but continue.
Okay, thanks. He's like that. See, but at least it's like I know where he stands. I respect it. He's a ruthless scumbag. But Ridge was like, we talked about it. If it was 0-0 and then I had choice, I might have done it. But I had the lead, and they deferred to him to see what he would do. Or I forget what happened. He deferred, and he's like, let me just get the point. He gave a better answer than I'm giving right now. But basically, it was a thought.
No, I thought it made sense. It puts him up by 2. So it puts him up by 2 points because he's up 4-3. To me, here's why. It puts him up by 2 points. If he were to get taken down, he was going to be able to escape, which is still going to be tied. So you can give up a takedown and be able to escape for sure relatively easily and still have a tied match. So you essentially get 2 attempts to get a takedown.
Yeah.
So I have no issue with it.
And I think he said he might have said exactly that. Like he knew if like he can't hold him down, so even if he got a takedown, he'd be all right. But yeah, that was definitely a thought. And in a different scenario, he might have done it. And but he's also like, I'm good on my feet. I'm confident on my feet. And he said the main key for him, because obviously Gomez is so dangerous upper body. He said like he watched, because everyone remembers the Big Ten final in 2022. He just gets bombed straight to his back. And he said, my mistake there was I didn't wrestle him there. I just tried to get out of it, and I ended up getting thrown. And he's like, and then I watched Andonian wrestle, and Andonian was like, just send it. No matter what. He just sent it and sent it and sent it. So I was like, that's why he's wrestling into it more, and he's able to, it's working out for him.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So it was probably that and the Mitchell interview were probably the 2 most insightful ones.
People want to know what you guys think the seeds will be at 149.
Ridge,
Oof.
Parco,
Arrington.
and Henson.
Yeah. Let's talk about
Waters looked really good.
Oh,
in the Big 12.
baby.
Yeah, good
Let's talk about the Fighting Brackies getting a Big 12 champion. Outstanding performance by the West Virginia Mountaineers. Catapulted by Ty
listen
Waters.
to Waters.
He's
Waters
a bad
goes
boy.
Tech fall, major tech fall, and I think he was up 8-0 on Williams or 8-1 when that finished.
I was openly mocked when I drafted this man. What they said was
who mocked you?
in the fantasy draft.
Nobody mocked you.
Oh yeah,
No one
John-
mocked
I
you.
don't recall that.
John Kozak. See, this is
You're gaslighting
They're
yourself.
doing it. They're doing it
This
again.
is so crazy.
Listen,
no
Been
one-
on Waters since
Yeah, we
were there.
visited
No,
West
no.
Virginia. We're like,
And
that's great.
I watched him win the Pennsylvania State
Kozak.
title before he was even Bracky's boy, and Bracky put him on you.
Kozak said he's like, you could have got him a couple rounds later. I don't know why you would take him so soon.
Well,
And
that's
Faye,
probably
too.
true.
No, you can't risk
That
this
is
kind
not
of
being
talent.
openly mocked for drafting
Openly
him.
mocked.
That is someone saying
Openly
that is
mocked.
Kozak saying you probably could have got him later. I was openly mocked.
Openly
Get
mocked.
outta here.
Ridiculed. Ridiculed. It was horrible. But you know what? At the end of it all, Ty is a big. I don't know where he's going to be ranked or seated, but he's had a really good year. He lost to Swiderski. He lost to. I forget he had a couple other losses there, but he's interesting. He's so good on top. Very dominant. We lost Ben for a little bit. I'm not sure what's actually
would have liked to- I'm
happening.
I'm right here.
Okay, yeah, I know, but
My daughter's home sick, and she's trying to convey something to me.
Oh,
And so I'm trying to ask her
she can just say
what
it,
she needs.
unless it's maybe private. Never mind.
I would have liked to see
I don't
the
know. Not
Swiderski Waters rematch in the finals.
Yeah.
Selfishly,
So his losses were to Swiderski, Ty Whalen,
Doesn't count.
Willie McDougald,
Yep.
and Caleb.
that's a
Henson.
bad one.
Yeah, McDougal was the 2 seed here, but he did not do well at Big 12s.
Yes, and
Losses
I don't believe he
matter,
had a great year because I looked Willie McDougald up, and because I was surprised he was a 2 seed when I saw it, and I thought he had kind of a decent amount of losses, but maybe he's had the good Big Ten matches. I think is what
Yeah.
it was.
Ty's
Or Big 12
fantastic.
Yeah, he's 14-8, guys. He's not
Yeah. What
great.
What are Ty's best wins of the season?
Cannon Webster, who's not wrestling anymore, right?
Doesn't count.
He's not. He's not.
He's
wrestling,
like
doesn't
pretty
count.
much the best guy on here.
So he could get hammered.
Really?
I mean, he may not
Tom
have a-
Crook's a solid win. Munson's, man, it's all
Williams.
right. Cannon Webster, yeah, Alvarez, yeah, maybe not. Ooh, he's gonna be a landmine then.
He is. He could get like a 12 or something weird.
Yeah,
I sent. By the way, I sent the one like Casey Swiderski's reaction to losing to Williams to Josh, and he has.
He took it in stride.
he was throwing a fit.
Oh yeah, that one.
pretty. Yeah,
He was fired up.
you can see. I don't.
Yeah, he's a
And
fiery.
they made him go back
competitor.
on the mat.
Yeah, he was yelling at John Smith.
In my ideal world,
That's not what I would do.
at 65 kilograms, we see Casey Swiderski versus Austin DeSanto at the Olympic trials.
What?
Talk about fireworks.
Why will Casey
Stop.
Swiderski be at the Olympic trials?
To try and make the Olympic team.
I know. but How is he going to
wins
get there?
NCAAs
Win
or maybe,
NCAAs?
or what?
Okay.
Yeah,
He
I
said
don't know
in
if
his
that's gonna
ideal
happen.
universe. Chris,
All right. I guess that's where we're. Yeah. It is.
Sure.
It's not.
now we're ridiculing a man's fantasies.
Maybe it's 2028 Olympic trials.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Austin DeSanto
Could be
versus.
2028.
That sounds like a stalemate sort of move. They should. That's a street league match.
Yeah.
Listen, that's a free idea. DeSanto versus Casey Swiderski. Then we'll get Tyler. Tyler can wrestle. Who do we want Tyler to wrestle?
Over under number of punches thrown.
Yeah. They got it. They each need to get a certain allotment.
See, that's the thing. Like, how are the stalemates guys gonna rip them off of each other? Like, they're not gonna have like a bunch of teams there to like pull these guys off each other.
You hire Younger Bastida. He can intervene. You can just go boom, throw these guys out of the way. All right, let's keep it moving. That's a lot.
Let's talk about Henson versus. I'm drawing a blank on Arrington.
Arrington.
Yeah,
Kinda did.
Well, we did. Bad call.
I don't think we talked about it, did we?
Yes.
Yep, extensively.
Yeah, we
Whatever, dude. I woke up at 3:50 in the morning today.
You definitely didn't. Let's go to. I think you woke up at around 10 o'clock based on the time you arrived here.
Whatever, dude.
I woke up in Hyattsville, Maryland, and I beat Tyler into the office today, who lives in Austin,
Beautiful
Texas.
Don't
Hyattsville.
care.
All right, 57. You get the brag here. Let's go. We'll go on. We kind of already talked about him. How bad do you believe Michael Blockus is hurt?
I don't know, but
Fault it out.
you have to assume when they default out of conferences, it's not good because
Not good.
you're punished now more than ever for doing so.
And we saw less defaults because of that, which I think is tremendous.
It is tremendous.
We got to talk about the Chittum Downey
Hey.
match, which was maybe
Oh
one of the
my.
matches of
Are
the
we
weekend.
going longer than an hour and a half today? Because we kind of need more than an hour.
Oh,
and
yeah,
a
we
half.
only have
So
20
I don't
minutes
know what
left.
you guys got.
We got a boogie, boys. That's why I'm trying to keep it.
Well, let's just tell them we're going to do this longer. We're going to be here a little longer
we
today.
may not be able to.
Tough.
I don't know what's after
Why
this.
not?
Why-
Tyler, we're staying longer today. You can't kick us out.
No,
There, it's done.
It'll be well. It's not. Tyler is not even producing the show, so that's not helpful. it's a fellow.
Who's producing it? Just tell me.
Your boy Josh. fellow
Skirnick, you stay your butt in that office. We're talking a little longer today.
He's got the power here, so I don't know if he says.
I just asked him
I've been
if we
his
can
captain.
go 30 minutes longer.
I've been his captain since 2005 or 6. So
Yeah, he's
once his
openly
captain, always his
insubordinate.
captain.
Yeah, once a cat. Yeah, it's
He
true.
better not be.
I kind of wish
I gave that man some beatings back in the day.
Oh my
I
Listen
kind
to
of
him
wish
laugh.
brackets didn't come out for a few more days. Like we get them Wednesday, so we'll get.
Love it. I can't wait.
Ooh.
I know, but like we
Oh.
can't even digest everything that just happened. Like,
I know.
give me like 4
Wait,
days, 5
Christian.
days.
Hey Ben.
Scheduling. We're just doing this live on the air. Remember, I'm flying Thursday morning. Are we gonna go Wednesday? Or are
Yeah,
you guys
we
kicking me off the show.
Yes, it's happening Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I moved it.
Yes.
Thank you. I would have forgotten to
Let's
tell the
go.
people. Okay, 57. Listen,
People, there we go.
Beautiful people. The beautiful people.
57 was Chittum's to win, and they put him down. What are they
Yeah,
doing?
I don't know why they did that. Dude, that was those dudes were scrapping. That was some really good
Great.
scrambles. People were saying, Chittum didn't have the ability to finish, but Downey was really scrappy and he really kept wrestling through a few of those positions. And yes, if Chittum would have had a few more tricks, he would have finished, but Downey wrestled really hard.
Well,
Downey's-
I would also say it wasn't just Chittum not finishing. I really thought when my mind thinks about this match, I think about Chittum almost sitting to the corner a couple times off of Ryder's attacks. So I feel like
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had the neutral danger where he you know,
So
he would do
close.
like the crotch lifting, like sitting back, and he would usually get 1 or 2 swipes. I think it happened 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
and then Downey was able to continue to wrestle through it and keep himself out of danger and not give up a takedown.
Yeah, those two are great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you haven't seen the match, it's a 3-3 overtime match, and then nothing happens. I mean, a lot happens, actually. No scores happen in sudden
lot
victory.
happens, yes.
They go to tiebreakers, and it's really weird how Chittum was able to ride out Downey because it seemed like he's not going to be able to hold him down. And then he gets a restart, and boom, he's able to just seemingly easily throw a side headlock,
Okay.
get legs in, and then almost got near fall, but then rides him out.
I know
was
we
the
don't have time for
challenge?
this, Christian, but how dumb is it that they're counting for stalling while you're almost holding a man on his back?
I
mean,
didn't
I
know-
can't think of any. That is the epitome of stupid. Like, holy crap! He's getting near fall, and you're counting.
Is that
for
why?
a stall.
Is that why
What
you and
are
I
we doing?
challenged? Because they challenged in that position.
I did not know that was a rule.
No, Iowa State tried to get near fall. Iowa State tried to get
Oh,
near
Iowa
fall.
State
but
challenged?
Actually,
Yeah.
that's
I was
what they were
watching without
counting.
sound. For some reason, I thought you and I.
Hey, by the way, Josh said we can go 30 minutes longer than usual.
What a beast.
Yes.
Incredible.
Can you guys just agree with me that is the epitome of stupid? That
The-
they're counting for
the
stalling
embodiment.
while someone's holding.
I guess
someone.
I didn't even realize that.
It's the embodiment of stupid.
I didn't even realize they were doing it because I was watching.
Yeah, so
That's-
they're doing a side headlock count while it is, first of all, just think about if you're a fan, you 100% think he's getting swipes because
Yes.
I don't think it was near fall, but it was crazy.
I don't think so either.
It was crazy close, but the idea that Chittum is stalling there is just patently insane. Just let that wrestle out. I mean, maybe they have to.
So insane.
There should be something where if their bellies are on the mat and your side headlock, fine, you can count it. But if they're breaking,
They're facing the mat.
if they're
If they're in near fall criteria or very close to near fall criteria, let them wrestle. What the hell?
yeah, just relax.
Like, oh my god.
these rules people.
But Ryder Downey, what he wanted on that, because I don't know if you noticed, Ryder Downey was complaining. I think Ryder Downey wanted it would have been the third caution, a false start, because Chittum got there real fast, and that was actually the exact same situation where Chittum got cautioned for the point in the
Yes.
next set of overtimes.
Yep.
Shane Sparks 2.9 cautions.
Oh
Got him.
yeah, those cautions killed Shane Sparks. So he yeah, but anyways, I'm trying to get to the actual thing. Tiebreakers. Chittum rides him out for 30 seconds. So all he has to do is look at the ref and do this.
You're
And
making
then-
a neutral sign for the
and
people just
right here. If you're just listening, it's just what you tell the ref when
Neutral.
you just want to start standing. And then just don't get scored on for 30 seconds and you win the match. He had been ridden 2 minutes straight by Ryder Downey. He goes down
Yes.
and there's so much and Dresser sort of owned it in the interview with Andy. Like, yeah, we messed that up. I was focused on this chaos in the corner, but you got to, man, that's just you got to be elated when he gets that ride out because you don't have to go under it.
Yes.
I just don't know what. Literally, I know I tweeted about it the second it happened, only because Caleb, the second it happened, is like, why didn't he go neutral? Like,
Yeah.
which was like, it was a moment of pride.
You know, one thing the referees are doing a good job of, since we've complained about a few things here, Christian.
I thought it was on
They're
the whole
doing-
well officiated weekend.
But they're doing a really good job, and I can't remember what there was another match where it was actually a while, maybe it might have been Volk and Spratley, where if the bottom person gets to his feet and is not actually trying to escape, and the top person is trying to do a return, they won't call him for stalling.
Yes.
Which is how it should be. Because if the bottom person just standing there like waiting for a stall call, and the top person's making a concerted effort to return them, they should not be called for stalling because they are actually attempting something, and the bottom person is actually not attempting anything.
At what point do you call
So
the bottom man?
I
for
love
stalling?
how they're calling that.
I
What'd you
agreed.
say?
I thought there were a couple scenarios where like I almost felt like antsy and jittery, like, oh, they're gonna hit him, and they kept letting it go. I was like, oh, I like this because
Which was perfect.
I think it was 25, but I thought I saw it in another time.
I think it was 25.
Yeah, it was at Big 12s. I think it was Spratley.
Yeah, but it was
riding.
57 as well. 57 was similar.
The rule isn't
Yeah.
you have to return them. People love to say you have to return them. You don't. You have to make an effort to return.
And it's sort of hard to
Yes.
game that. I feel it is. If like,
Yeah, heck
it's
yeah.
hard to fake trying to return, especially if the guy is genuinely trying to get
Yes.
get away, right? So,
Well, no. Christian. It's when the bottom guy is genuinely trying to not do anything that's when it's harder to return them, right? When they know, if I just stay on my feet and I do this thing and I'm not actually trying to turn, because actually sometimes when they're trying to escape, when they actually are trying to legitimately escape, you have a more they obviously have the opportunity to escape, but you have a better opportunity to return them. And when they're just standing there and doing nothing, that's when it's the most difficult.
Yeah. This was a great match, though. Their match last time was fantastic. Chittum, man, he's interesting. I think he's super dangerous. He makes some mistakes, but he can do some pretty fantastic stuff. I thought he was going to win this tournament. I think that's my prediction.
Hey, number 2, Vinny Zerban, DNPs in this bracket.
Yeah,
we didn't mention that yet. So he lost
Hill.
Who do you
Hill from Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. So Jared Hill got like a body lock takedown on him, and Zerban was not able to get a takedown in the third period. They got a stall call, and then Mahler beats him in the blood round to knock him out of the tournament.
Whoa!
Crazy. Those scrambles were crazy in overtime also.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy for Zerban.
It was wild.
Bigger surprise. Ryder Downey, Braden Davis, Zach Glazier.
Zach Glazier.
I think it's Glazier.
For sure.
Oh, for the season or for
season, because going into Big 12 or Big 10,
okay.
You're taking Glazier to
sure. Man, it's close. I mean, I think it's Glazier because with a true freshman, it's always a possibility.
We had data on Glazier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
data that he was not good.
Yeah, he's 9-7.
You guys hate acknowledging that he has a win over a national champ.
That was this year.
I'm
saying coming into this year.
Whatever.
Technically, that was in 2023, but it was
that was
season.
Last year, guys.
This season.
Now you guys are gaslighting me.
So much gas.
Because Downey's an Iowa kid, so I obviously knew about him. But I mean, you're telling me Big 12 champ when he's coming out of high school at this age. I'm probably saying, yeah, maybe not yet.
Freshman?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These seeds are going to be wild at 57. So Haynes is your obvious one. I think Teamer goes 2. Maybe Meyer 3. And then who knows?
Man, who knows?
Could be anything.
Because it got, all these guys that were kind of stalwarts. It's going to be a crazy. And I think it's like the deepest weight in the country. I think we've said that probably, but it's fantastically deep and it's interesting. You got Levi, who, we were saying kind of a runaway, but then Willowan once again makes it kind of interesting. Does that win, how he won, cast a little bit of doubt on that, or?
Oh yeah, I mean, right? If he blows him out and it's 12-2, you feel significantly more confident. I mean, I still think that would be a significant betting favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But if he would have won 12-2, it would be even further. Hey, I don't know. You put that online on Friday night, Christian, about Penn State only being -600. I'm like, oh my God, should I put my life savings on that? Because that is the most free money ever.
I couldn't believe it. -600 was, and within
that's not even huge.
That's
odds.
not a gamble. That's an investment.
Yeah, that's just an investment. That's like
seriously.
That's like putting money in your 401k. It's happening.
-600.
You want to know on the team front? So, we run the pre-seed scores, what it, washes out, and they were about a 50-point favorite, right? Carter doesn't wrestle a match, and they won by 47.
Yeah.
So think about the overperformance in the seeds versus reality and the bonus versus project. Like, they won by so much without the runaway favorite to win that weight class. They really wrestled well. I mean, they finished first, third, second, third, first, DNP, second, first.
It's crazy, though.
At Big Tens.
That is crazy. But at the same time, you're kind of like, they were probably thinking Bo was going to win. They were probably got the production they wanted out of KSAC.
Penn State's got some work to do. With Bo, it's and also a thing with them is they've won 10 out of the last whatever, but they've only won like 4 now,
They've lost a
5
couple
Big
Tens,
Big Tens. Like they,
No, it was 8. They said 8, but it's less than the amount of national titles they have. To your
Yes.
point.
So it's notable that
Right.
you think about. All right, could Bo reverse his result? Absolutely. Could Bernie beat Salazar? Absolutely. So there's opportunities for Ace in that final test still. And then let's just go to 74 because we haven't said the name's Carter Starocci yet. But
That's kind of wild.
no matter what happened at Big Tens, it was going to be the biggest story coming out. And I really thought the day before.
Yes, you guys were gaslighting us that he was going to wrestle.
Well, no, we were
Wrestling.
I don't
believe you.
Now I don't even think you know what gaslight means. That's what I'm sorry.
Means make me believe something other than what the truth is.
No, that's not what it means.
We're just reporting the facts.
That's just called lying. We just
Oh, well, I didn't want to go that far and call you guys liars, but if you're going to talk about yourself that way.
all we did was show that that Penn State made a tweet or a video.
No. I recall reading a specific tweet that said you liked Carter's gait.
No. I said I was analyzing his gait. This is another gaslight.
looked
That's not
good.
even
You
what
said
I
it
said.
looked
I have the
good.
tweet right in front of me.
Yes,
Christian said, "I love Carter's gate." That was the tweet.
Yes, I knew it.
No, I'm kidding. He did say gate analyzer here or something like that. I don't even have it in front of me.
You're a
we'll
hard
put it up
person to
now,
do this
file.
show with, Ben.
What is this gate?
You just like
What am I missing?
gate. You don't even know what gate means.
It's like a thing you open to get into.
No, your gait is like your manner of walking, and so they had the.
I don't use this vocabulary.
Yes.
Who's the nerd now?
Well, I could.
Leave the
GAIT.
show today. We're torching you.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Just use walk. I know what walk means.
You
No.
tweeted a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
You kind of tweeted a lot. I'm trying to scroll back. You kind of have a lot of tweets.
Yeah, I tweeted a lot.
Yeah,
I'm going to find it.
Wait, are we gonna talk about the thing or not? Are we just gonna
Is Carter
microanalyze?
Starocci going to wrestle at NCAs?
Yes. He's gonna wrestle at NCAs.
Wait, so
can we pull up his
how
tweet?
about that tweet he put up, though?
I don't.
I mean, I don't believe it, obviously.
Yeah. No. Listen. This tweet. I don't know. I throw this out.
You don't want to pull it up?
I not really.
Okay, let's
Wait,
not
we
pull it
gotta
up.
If you
can
live
talk
under a
about
rock, didn't see it. After entry defaults now, Carter Starocci tweeted, "Looking forward to a new chapter. Thank you, Penn State forever."
He's gonna
I don't
wrestle.
buy it.
But-
Yeah. Come on. He's fired up. Maybe a little bit disappointed he didn't wrestle, but
Well,
which
it
Kale said as
sounds
much.
like
yeah.
yes, it sounds like he wanted to wrestle, and Kale said, "Nah, you don't need to," which is probably the right decision.
Yeah.
Activating. Oh, okay, I got it. Activating gate analyzer. Starocci looks in good spirits.
Yeah. Those are two separate statements.
Have you? Why are you like gate?
Yeah, you're-
You've tweeted the word gate multiple times in the past. Last time you have many. You tweeted like 4 times in 2018 talking about Jason Nolf.
Yeah. Same thing. Same thing. Nolf's gate was a topic of discussion.
This is a real tweet. Christian said, "A strong, confident gate. I'll put him at 92% based on that walk." That's tweeted that about
obvious
Jason Nolf 5 years ago.
That's funny. I'm just being a funny guy. I obviously can't assess a gate in percentages. And I was right. He actually destroyed everyone at NCAs that year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So my gate analyzer has been accurate. But yeah, the Carter thing, I don't know.
Wasn't accurate Friday.
No, the gate's fine.
Yeah, you said he was in high spirits.
He wasn't high spirits. He smiled.
He did smile.
That changed.
I think, I don't know why, the decision to not, obviously we know why he didn't wrestle is his injury, but, did he think he was going to go? I think they like to keep them thinking they're in the mindset that they're going to compete, whether they are or they aren't. And, Carter's a passionate guy. He had the fact, I also wondered this, like, the idea that he had to take the mat and have some other dude get his hand raised just had to drive him insane. Instead of like
insane.
Instead of like
the fact they had to walk out there.
and then Andrew Sparks now has a win over me. Like, what is this reality? Like, I think coming to terms with that. I haven't lost since Michael Kimmer at the Big Tens in 2021, my freshman year, and now I have 2 losses. Like I can
Officially on my record.
officially on his record, and maybe I can't win that. So I think that's not an easy thing to come to terms with. It's a deeply personal sport, and I think come NCAAs, I think he's on the mat in wrestling. I think his response shows you that he really thinks he can wrestle. And listen, they've got also
In that he wants to.
if they didn't think he could wrestle, they would have entered Terrell Barraclaw and wrestled him.
Yes.
Like you can talk about the Soriano thing all you want, but they didn't have another option. They didn't have a Terrell Barraclaw. They didn't have a Josh Barr in red shirt. There was no other option. And
Hey, Christian, the chat's got a really funny,
Oh no,
really
Ben.
funny thing for you. It's called. They said you have a great gate dar.
I was worried you were gonna read a different comment. So
no, don't. He
Yeah.
will. Why'd you
Which
say that?
one?
no,
Which one?
no.
Tyler, are you simple? What's wrong with you?
Now I don't know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Good luck.
Okay.
He can't let anything go.
Does
They
JD
don't
have
sell
an
those gate
earpiece in?
dars at
Someone
Sharp
tell him to
Image.
close
No,
his
yeah,
mic.
they do. Oh, they do, but they're sold out right now. Yeah, I'm good. Listen. Did I study sports medicine? Maybe. All right, so I feel like are we talking about this or not?
All right, 74.
I think Carter's just-
74.
Just
Well, someone earlier in the chat asked if Edmund Ruth had the easiest
incredibly,
tournament
yes,
to a Big Ten championship.
ever.
How tremendous.
It's insane.
And then he danced about it. It was great.
He danced. I mean, it's not. I mean, you should take that if you're.
You should dance, yeah.
Because Griffith, I don't know. That didn't look good either.
Yeah,
Concerning
Yes.
for NCAAs.
Sorry.
Yeah.
very sad.
Maybe we can send Christian on a top secret mission and send him
Yeah.
to Michigan in a disguise,
Yeah, give
and
me
he
the
can look at the
mustache
gate.
glasses. Yeah.
He can-
We need to convince Shane, going back to last week's show, we need to convince him that Michigan is shutting down its program. that injury might heal itself.
Yeah. I think you have to run like a Truman Show type of scenario and just create an entire world around Shane Griffith where Shane, word just came down. Program's done.
All Olympic sports ride on you winning.
What should we do? Man, now with 174,
It's going to be wild. The seating's
you
gonna
are
be
going to totally
ridiculous.
everyone's going to make a prediction on 174, and you are going to base it on total. It's totally reliant on the health or not
Conjecture.
or the injury. Yeah, conjecture is a great word because you have
Too big for me.
you have no idea about Carter.
With
Well,
Shane,
Christian, how's it going to be seated? Mackay
Yeah.
1, K. DeVos 2?
Yes.
Oh, that's wild.
well, like, what are the chances
Wild.
we get like a crazy quarterfinal in this bracket? I haven't. Ben, you have the best bracket math.
No, he messed it up last time.
No, I messed it up last week. I did mess it up. I got the rounds flipped in my head.
Yeah,
For 33.
You still did a couple there that were very impressive, though.
Like I have no idea, but like, is there a chance we get like a 4 Starocci, 5 Griffith or something like that? Like something.
yeah, I wouldn't even consider that crazy.
Well, so the Big Ten, the Big Ten's finished with Welsh in third, and
beast.
Kennedy in fifth, which those guys were ranked. Kennedy was number 5 nationally and on your guys' rankings, and then Welsh was 13. So Welsh is going to go pretty high. EIWA's was Canigliaro, correct? No, Wolak won. Lennox Wolak won.
Because Benny Baker beat Knigler on the semis.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Canigliaro. He would have been, dude. If he'd have won EIWAs, he'd have been like the 3.
3,
Now,
yeah.
now he crushed himself.
So Ruth probably goes like 3 or 4 somewhere in there. Yeah, who knows what they're gonna do? It's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, because he's going to get a legit. Now he doesn't get a Starocci win, but he gets a Griffith win in the Matrix.
yes,
And conference title,
and conference title.
and conference
which is a
title.
criteria.
Yup. Crazy. It's 74. It's gonna be we're gonna be talking about it for 2 weeks. We're not gonna know. I thought the point I was trying to make was that I thought the media that Penn State put out leading up to Big Tens was so overtly Carter. I feel like if they knew they were gonna forfeit him, you don't really lean into Carter and do the smile thing and do the. So I felt like I looked into the day
We're
before.
also super analyzed.
Hold on. The day before, I was like, oh, he's probably wrestling because they have 10
Yeah.
great wrestlers. Why? Everyone knows that we're not over analyzing. Everyone knows that the entire focus of the wrestling eyes are on Carter Starocci, and to show that made me think he was going. And I don't think Penn State plays games like that at all. So I genuinely think they probably thought he was going to wrestle at that point. And who knows? Who knows why? Maybe something happened in the warm up. They didn't like what they saw, but they're pragmatic, and I don't think.
Hey, I just looked up Edmund Root's wrestle stat. Dude, he might get the one or the two because he only has 2 losses, one of which is to Keegan, which doesn't count. So he has 1 loss to Patrick Kennedy, but he has wins over Incontrera, Canigliaro. He has
Makai's
oh my gosh,
undefeated conference champion though.
okay, so he's 1.
Yeah.
So then, I mean, he could be 2 because he's got 2 Welsh wins. He's got the Shane Griffith win.
Oh my gosh,
He's
might be right.
got a pretty damn good resume.
As the Kennedy loss.
Hey, Keegan for Hodge now, bumping up,
Who
beating
knows?
Big Ten champ.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know.
I mean, at this point, with the way Aaron Brooks actually decided to wrestle in the conference finals, feel like it's probably going to be him.
Yeah, he's going to be
He
tough.
has been insanely dominant.
He's going to be tough. I mean, he has 1 non-bonus, and he just bonused that guy dominantly.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, Keegan. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Hodge, I guess yet, but 74.
Yeah. Why did so the Glacier Big Ten duel match was so weird because he just chose not to try.
He was sick.
And then when he tries, he just smashes him.
Yeah. There was illness stuff going on there.
Okay.
He was down with the sickness. Obviously, because Glazier's wrestling well, right? That's the difference. The difference was Aaron. Glazier beat Jackson Smith in overtime. So yeah, strong.
Yeah. I mean,
strong performance from Brooks, no doubt.
Yeah, so that bracket's gonna probably go Brooks Hadley are 1, 2. Sloan probably gets the 3. Beard probably gets the 4. I'm guessing. That's what happens.
Possibly. Yeah, that sounds
Most
right.
likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
skipping
Elam
184?
beat
We'll go back.
Buchanan. 84 is not important. We already bragged on Parker.
We talked about Parker. No one else matters. So Pinto goes down to Truax.
Truax.
Mm-hmm.
And Salazar. Who did Salazar?
Salazar beat Bullock in the semis.
Jaden, yeah.
Yes, because
Jaden
Bullock beat
wrestled-
Rogotsky.
Jaden wrestled Pinto really tough. Jaden Bullock, this is an interesting guy because he still has 3 years left after this, even though he's in his 3rd or 4th year at college.
Yes.
So
Wait, so how does he have so many years left?
it's because the rules.
COVID, redshirt.
COVID, redshirt, medical,
COVID.
science,
Politics.
You get a
Vibes. Did you say vibes?
vibes. There's a vibe shirt.
Yeah, so he is in his 4th year of college. WrestleStat does not have him down as having a red shirt, but he obviously could have a red shirt. So at most, he has 2 years left.
No. Oh yeah. No. He has,
21 didn't
I'm
count.
telling you, he has 3.
One didn't count, and then he has 3 years. So one of them is a red shirt. If one of them is a red shirt, then he has 2 years left.
Well, this year and then 2 more.
Correct. 2 more after this.
I don't think. I talked to Leah Howard explicitly about it. She's like, 3 years left. This
Well,
is
that she might have
Michigan
been
Athletic.
including.
There's
this
no way
year.
he has 3 years left. I'm looking at his WrestleStat
All
right
right.
now.
Well, maybe I misunderstood.
She may have been including this year. You know what I mean?
Okay. Maybe
3
Yeah, that's
postseasons.
probably what
3
it is.
postseasons.
Yeah, so
2.5
the Big 12,
postseasons.
the Big 12 was actually way tougher than the Big 10 at 184. The Big 12 at 184. I mean, Feldkamp, All-American last year, finished as 6th place.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Christian,
Sam Wolf.
Christian's wrong, so he's just on his phone
No,
now.
I'm just gonna look it up. I don't think I am wrong.
There's no way. All right, so Sam Wolf, man, I haven't watched him too much.
Wolf,
He's
pronounce it
really
correctly, please.
scrappy. Oh my gosh! But Dustin Plott beat the tar out of him. He had the win over Berge. He had a crazy win over Feldkamp. Sorry, 2 wins over Berge. Crazy win over Feldkamp. Plott beat him really bad in the semis. Plott loses to Keck guys in. Hawks has 2 wins over Feldkamp. It was actually kind of really funny how
Why did
Wolf
they go
wrestled
with?
Berge twice. And
Did Missouri do a wrestle off? I was a
no,
little
they did
surprised
not.
they went with Hawks.
They went with Feldkamp. I'm sorry, they went with Feldkamp. They went with Hawks because he had the Feldkamp win and he had the Salazar win. So 2 top 10 wins. Unfortunately, Clayton did not. He had 3 top 10 matches. Unfortunately, he lost them all. So he lost Foca, Plot, and Wolf. So they thought Hawks' resume was better. So, I mean, that's really unfortunate because Clayton had a really good year.
He did. I thought they'd used him a little more too, especially recently. But maybe I'm misremembering.
They had, yeah.
Hey,
Hawks wrestled a few at the end.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be right yet again. 2021 doesn't count. 2022 redshirt. 2023 injury year. He'll get a medal.
There's no injury on
You
here.
just are okay.
He wrestled 4 matches. His last match was in November. He could easily get an injury year.
Well, that's an asterisk.
WrestleStat has an ambulance by it if it's injury.
WrestleStat is not the authority.
No,
on
they know
redshirts.
everything, Christian. They know
You
everything.
can also retroactively add one.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you should have said that.
I said what is true, and you guys just have to fight me on every little thing.
Well, you should have said that.
Debatable.
I did say
Tyler's
it.
from Michigan. If this were true, he would know it.
He doesn't know anything.
That's so
All right,
crazy.
let's talk Christian. Let's talk about the Big 12s at 184 and how good it was. I was trying to talk about it. You're all distracted, and I didn't pay attention.
Well, I was trying to see if I had misled America or you did. And
Is
yet
Parker
again.
now like the second biggest favorite at NCAAs?
Honestly, I looked at the field at 184, and I'm like, I mean, honestly, even feels like he's even bigger than Brooks because he's whooped everybody, and Brooks has Hidley, and Hidley's really, really
right.
good.
You're right.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it feels like he is.
he's up there. I would say, man, this season and I don't know if it's because it's 184, why this is in my mind, but the last guy I remember having kind of it made me think about Miles Martin in 2019, where he was so far and away the best guy that entire year, and then freaking he got upset.
Don't you be throwing juju my man's
I'm not
way.
throwing juju.
Don't you be doing it.
I'm just
You
saying.
keep your voodoo to yourself.
Go back
Christian
and look
Piles.
at that season.
Same weight.
Him and Bernie had a
I
close
know
match.
he was great. I remember.
very close.
I remember.
Bernie, was
But do you remember who won nationals that year? What school they were
Rue
from?
Foster, you and I, the 6th seed
Ooh, 184 you.
for sure. I'm
They
not
have
putting,
actually. Did you hear that stat last night? I don't know if you were watching, but they said I think it's 7 Big 12 titles in a row at 184 for Northern Iowa. It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
Chill.
That's unbelievable.
Shout out Randy Pugh.
Mm-hmm.
I think Doug Schwab goes to those
Oh,
guys. I think Doug Schwab's Parker's main training partner.
Panther Train, baby.
Randy Pugh. I have an embarrassing thing to admit. I whoop a lot of dudes, but Randy Pugh shut me out twice when I was 18, and I'm kind of still embarrassed about it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I know. I couldn't score on that son of a gun. I'm going to go try and fight him now.
Dang it. Ray.
Wes Roberts and Randy Pugh, line them up. I want to knock them down.
Did we ever talk about the fact that we tried really hard to get Wes Roberts on this show?
Yes,
Yes.
we talked
Okay.
about that.
Yeah, we did. We tried.
All right. Hey, I think we're actually not going to need the full 30
He
minutes.
shut out Ben yet again.
Shut
He
up.
shut you down. Wes Roberts is
Let's just talk about
undefeated.
how awesome Younger versus Hendrickson was.
Well-
that match was fire.
Before we move on to heavyweight, I
Yeah.
want to put some respect on Tanner Sloan's name.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh, yeah.
probably because he didn't go to an in-state
Nah,
school.
he kind of stalled. I thought they should have called him for stalling. He went
biased.
backwards very
You're
hard
biased.
in the third period. I'm not. Elam took like 7 shots, and my man just ran backwards. Stay in the fight.
As I was saying,
How many shots did Elam
this
take?
great
Answer that
great
question.
Big 12 champion doesn't get enough respect from Iowans, probably because he wasn't a highly touted recruit coming out of high school and he didn't stay in state. But this man, he's putting on for 1A
He's
Iowa.
very good. He is very good. But, I could have seen a stall point happening there.
All right. So 97. Nothing else really happened there, right?
Yeah, nothing.
Elam beat
ACC Trent
Buchanan,
is just
Beard.
killing everybody.
Yeah. Beard beat Cardenas in the finals of EIWAs.
Trent Brooks is, man, I refuse to write it off as great as Aaron Brooks
I
is.
agree.
I
Hidley's a savage.
He's crazy, bro. He has killed.
Yes.
He has killed every. It is. I will not next topic that weight, I will pick Aaron.
I agree.
But I'm pretty sure. But man, is Trent looking really good? But
Who do you think will be bigger?
Man, Trent's big. Probably Aaron.
Probably Aaron.
I think they'll both weigh about 199 pounds.
I think they'll both weigh in. They have 197
On Saturday night,
Just kidding.
They'll probably make weight.
Don't you get a pound?
Yeah.
you get a
Second
pound
of-
each day. So
Caleb-
JD
oh my
Okay,
God.
so you were making the same joke that I.
Caleb is so
Correct.
Okay.
he was getting in there at looking at the weigh-ins. He's like, Dad, Drake weighed 125.8. I was like, oh, they get a pound. And then he starts looking through it. He's like, Braxton Brown missed weight. He's 136, and he just got entered wrong. So we're like, he was looking at everyone's weight class. And one day he's like, Nash Hutmacher weighed 280 pounds.
Hey,
Taylor
Nash
Bear going to
Hutmacher.
NCAAs.
That man
Shout
has
out.
some improvement in like 2 or 3 months or whatever he's been wrestling.
That's
He's got
not
a lot
easy.
better.
I'll
Not
resend
easy.
my biggest surprise of the year statement. I'll put in Nash Hutmacher because I didn't even think he was going to wrestle.
So true.
And now he's an NCAA qualifier.
Yeah, what a beast. I'm trying to think if there's anything else at 97. I suppose not.
Not real. I mean, I'll go through all the top guys with you. Aaron Brooks, Hidley, Jackson Smith. He lost to Glazier.
Yep.
And Tanner
and
Sloan.
he lost to Allred
What?
also.
Oh, we did lose to Allred. You're right. Sloan beats Elam. Elam beat Buchanan in the semis. Beard beat Cardenas. Cardenas beat D. Perez in the semis. That's correct, right?
Mm-hmm. He did.
D. Perez, yes.
Steve Little won the Pac-12s.
He's tough.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, pretty chalky. All right, good
Mhm.
job there. And then heavyweight, yeah, younger Wyatt lived up to it. I thought,
It was awesome.
the opening exchange, or it wasn't the opening exchange, but how younger. I mean, actually, how he landed on his foot was so scary. Like basically 500 pounds all came down on his like right foot, seemingly.
Wait, we're talking about when he dumped him on his back?
Yeah, he's like this. His foot's in the air, and it looked like that was the first thing that hit the ground. You should go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, but it's flat.
No, I thought he landed like on the side of it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was flat, but I will rewatch it.
He obviously doesn't get.
That was
injured at
crazy.
all.
His balance, how he dumped that way. I totally didn't see that coming, and apparently Wyatt Hendrickson did not see that one coming either.
I've obviously been far too slow on this, and I've always really enjoyed Younger, but I was just never able to get to he can go with Kirkfleet. I just was never there, and now I'm like, all right, this is way too late for me to make this proclamation, but it's so obviously a thing.
What did you think,
Yes,
to switch to Big Tens real quick, when Nick Feldman got the first takedown?
I thought nothing.
Nick
you
Feldman's
thought-
been getting a lot
nothing?
better.
I thought nothing, but I thought Nick Feldman's really wrestling good. He beat Davison again, which if you watched that match the first time, you're like, he pulled it out, but how
Yeah, I was really surprised.
how replicable is this? His defense is when you're on his leg, he's pretty freaking fantastic at counter scoring, and then he's really good. He's really good, but I was like, he's not gonna be able to do it, and he's not gonna get away from Greg.
Correct.
I feel so he's got to go neutral. Greg did a good job there. But yeah, Feldman's coming on. I mean, now, if you want to pivot a little bit, I do think he's someone that could go on a really deep run at NCAAs. I don't think he's a title.
Who, Feldman?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. He's really good. He's come a long
Better
way.
You
Impressive.
have to think that at this point.
He's come a long way throughout the season. He had some rough patches. He got
Yeah, tough CKLV.
tough CKLV. I mean, Tay Gadali
Yes.
smashed him. He had a couple dominant losses.
I mean, there's still times where on bottom he looks like, damn, if someone is able to get on top of him, they're gonna keep him down for a while.
Yeah, it does feel far from automatic, and that he should probably not choose it very often. But
Yes.
if he's coming at you hard for 7 minutes straight, he's going to beat a lot of guys. He's a fun guy to watch. I'm happy for him to have that success after what happened to him last year. But no, not for a second. Did I think?
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to get back to the younger Kirkfleet discussion, which I think is going to be the
I
discussion.
need another younger meme drop before NC.
Yeah, that was so great.
Gotta love his meme drop.
It was so funny when they played it on there. It's like, oh my gosh, they're playing.
They put it on the broadcast?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
ESPN
Oh yeah,
too.
yes.
It was great. But to go back to that match, another thing I don't want to do is dismiss Wyatt in this conversation, because now he gave up that
Not dismissed.
He gave up that 6, which in most matches is basically at a high level match, you give up 6-pointer, it's so hard to come back. He was coming back. He cut it to a 1-point deficit. Younger got warned for stalling. There's 50 seconds to go. Wyatt just gets the takedown to cut it to 1. And at that point in time, there's 2 things he could do. He could try to ride out and get a turn or a stall, which he had already been warned, or kick and try to get the takedown. You know, hindsight.
I thought that was the right move.
Okay. I sort of didn't, because I thought Younger has to do 2 things from that position. He either has to wrestle hard to get away, which could play right into Wyatt's thing. If he's flat,
Medium hard. He's got to ride medium hard.
medium hard. Sounds like we're ordering like a hot wing here.
Sounds like Shane
No,
Sparks
like,
talking about
okay,
the
if he
Big Ten.
lays there flat, he's getting called for stalling. You're right. But he doesn't got to go nuts, right? He's got to like make some I got to try. Oh, I tried getting up. Oh, I can't get up. Oh, I tried getting up. Oh, you know, he does that. He's not getting called for stalling.
Yeah, but there's scenarios where you can be dominated from the top position and you can be made to look like you're stalling. And Wyatt Hendrickson is one of the rare guys that I think could, we don't know, but could make him look that way, force that kind of a call. So
Sure.
it's either you get the ride out, or you get a stall, or so the options are you get a stall point, or you can maybe even get a turn, which you're the most prolific turner at this weight. I think
Correct.
I'm kind of always team go where your advantage is. His advantage is not neutral against Younger.
Man.
His advantage is
But
from
at
the
that
top
point,
position.
I don't know. So I just,
What do you think Iowa State was thinking when they cut him? I think they're
I
probably
was thinking they're thinking, oh crap, this guy's still got 55 seconds. All he's got to do is get 1 takedown. That's probably what they were thinking.
I think they're I think they're probably like, yes.
I think Wyatt got a little
Yes.
lazy on, you know, he thought probably at that point, and it was a great move by Younger, right? So he attacks and he kind of pulls back, and then Younger reattacks, and I think he was still on his knees a little bit, and that was, you know, when he gets taken down there. Whereas if he kind of hustles a little harder there, maybe he gets out of there and then he's able to try to go get another takedown. But Younger wrestled a really good match. He's really good at heavyweight. He should have been at heavyweight earlier.
Apparently.
I think I said that like a month or 2 ago. He moves really, really well, and he's sturdy enough where he doesn't get pushed around. You know who actually would be an interesting match for him would be, and I know he beat him, but he beat him because he beat himself, is Feldman.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Feldman got Hamlin 3 times, and I lost my damn mind about it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he kept getting spun
Yes,
around.
it was the same move 3 times. You got the man get the same move 3 times in one match.
It like insults Ben's sensibilities when people.
What are you doing? Do a different move.
If Ben was Nick Feldman's coach, he would have made him walk home from Akron.
His ass would have been walking home. That is for sure. I would have said, bro, same move 3 times. You just try a different move. Try an arm drag. Try a double leg. Stop doing a head and side single and getting spun behind.
So funny.
This makes me mad just thinking about it now. And I don't even coach Feldman. It makes me angry.
Yeah, that's so funny. He had a great tournament. Strong showing against Greg. And yeah, I think. Do you feel strongly about Greg winning a title still, Ben, or do you have an opinion?
I would think he's the favorite for sure. I think Hendrickson can wrestle him closer than he wrestled in the All-Star for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think, depending who makes it, I think that Bastida can wrestle him tough. I think Colton Schultz can probably wrestle him tough. So, I mean, those are the top 4. He'll likely have, he'll have one of those obviously in the semi likely and one of those in the final.
Yeah.
I think those 4 guys can kind of wrestle him hard. I think beyond that, Elam's probably the 5, but I don't feel like Elam's shown he has the ability to beat those 4 that are above him, but he's beaten all of the guys below him.
Yeah. So it was great, man. Great conclusion to the Big 12s, which it was a fire tournament. Big 12s.
So
always-
that transitions to a question. Someone asked, what was more exciting, Big 12s or Big 10s?
Well, I can't say.
Big 12s is really good too. The
It-
finals were great.
Big 12s probably had a ton of excitement. I was at Big 10s.
Team race was a little tighter, more up in the air.
Well, yeah.
Iowa State locked it up in the finals early, but throughout the entire tournament, Iowa State versus Oklahoma State was a fun thing to follow. Where Penn State.
Yeah.
from the get-go.
Speaking of Iowa State,
There's a score.
I don't know.
There
Yeah, there it is.
on your screen.
Speaking of Iowa State, someone said many coaches have built/rebuilt programs. Has any done as big a rebuild as Dresser at 2 programs, Virginia Tech and Iowa State?
Yeah.
A year before Dresser, Iowa State won 0 duels and scored 1 point at NCAAs. In the first few years at Virginia Tech, they were last in NCAAs.
Yeah.
That's Burger King of Kings on Twitter.
So I think I still will say that what he did at Virginia Tech is way more impressive. There's no tradition. There's no in-state talent really other than Christiansburg, right? It's very, very little to pull from. There's no the administrative support. Like he really built it and made it. He and Roby just tyranny of will made that happen. And Iowa State was not a great situation, but that was a program that was very committed to winning, and you knew they could do it. So, but I would say
He's still done a great job.
He's still done a great job, and I think the answer to that question is no. I don't think there's anyone that's done this
With 2.
with 2.
We've seen it with 1, but with
Impressive,
2.
man.
I mean, well, I
Rob Cole could enter the discussion.
could enter it, and I'll say
Possibly at 3.
here's what I'll throw it.
He didn't rebuild Cornelia.
It's an
Yes, he
interesting.
did.
Nah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Rob Cole, he built it from
Stanford-
scratch.
Yeah, that's what I was confusing my schools.
Stanford doesn't count.
Yeah.
He brought Stanford back. Just kidding. It was back when they hired him.
Stop.
I was confusing my schools.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I want to say I want to throw another nominee, and he didn't get to
Who?
reach the point with this school because he got scooped. But what Pat Pop did at Binghamton, that was a nothing team.
Oh, yes.
You had, Tony Roby, I
And
believe.
this goes. Yeah. I'm sorry. I've been excited this morning.
I know.
I'm frustrated because I just keep freaking talking and I won't shut up. My bad.
But people
Go
don't
ahead.
know, like Binghamton was a throwaway. Like Tony Roby was the head coach there and left Binghamton to be the assistant at Virginia Tech, which like maybe in some people's mind doesn't make sense. Obviously the right move. But then Pat goes there. They got Lister. They had Quiz, and they had a kid named Josh Patterson who was like a crazy pinner. So like,
tough 184.
and yep, Ben remembers. And then
I think
Pat-
Max beat him in the All-Star actually.
okay, yeah,
I believe.
that maps. And so then Pat, he really had Binghamton coming, and then he goes to NC State. So you kind of can't really tell because he didn't get to fully do it at Binghamton, but they were coming along.
No,
then
they
he
were
goes
on
to,
their way, for
and now look at NC State. I mean, they're putting some kind of distance between them and Virginia Tech. As great as Virginia Tech is, now it's been a couple duels, it's interesting.
So what I was going to say to you is one of my pet peeves is when people say, "Oh my God, this program has potential," or the opposite, "This program can't succeed because of X, Y, and Z." And it's like, no, with a great coach, every place can be the right place, right?
Yeah.
Cornell was a crap hole. Rob Cole made him great. Mizzou, Brian Smith. We just talked about NC State and Pat Pop.
Virginia Tech.
NC State sucked forever, and it was like that was like where good Pennsylvania kids go to die. Is like when I was in college. That's what people said. Virginia Tech, and good coaches can coach, and they make programs a lot better. And you can say, oh, but they have this resource or that resource, and lots of times the positives of those resources don't get talked about until after the coach has made those programs really, really high level.
100%.
To also push back on that a little bit, I do feel like those resources help. Location helps. There are a lot of advantages some schools have. And you see that
Yeah,
because
but think about the ones I mentioned, like Cornell. You could have named 10 reasons why they were terrible when Rob Cole took over. NC State, same thing. I mean, you go somewhere like Ohio State and Russ Hellickson had a few good years, but overall they weren't all that great. And now look how consistently they are near the top. I mean, you could just kind of keep naming coaches who just do a really good job and make the program so much better.
of course, no doubt, good coaches can make any program good. But at the same time, I think some programs just have a ceiling, and some have.
Why? You're crazy. You're crazy.
Man, I mean, Ben, you just
Penn State. Look at Penn State, for God's sake.
Kale
Penn
left
State was,
Iowa State
Bro, he
because
called
Penn
it a
State has
sleeping
a
giant.
look
They
at
knew
Penn
it.
State. Penn State was average forever. Like, they had some good years. Sunderland had some good years, but
I don't think JD is talking about a Big Ten team
Yeah,
that's in the middle of the best wrestling
And
school.
That
high
only
school
proves my
wrestling
point.
state.
But
Kale
that's how
left
people
Iowa
thought
State.
about Penn State before Kale went there.
Except Kale had the
That's how they thought about it.
realization.
I wasn't
can-
born yet, so I don't know.
I can be more dominant at Penn State than I can at Iowa State. That Penn State has advantages for me that I don't currently have at Iowa State.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're still talking about the way, Penn State had existed for what, 70 years prior to Kale, and they did win one title in 1953, but the majority of people thought Penn State, yeah, it's a great wrestling state, the best high school wrestling state, but Penn State, they probably were saying, and I don't recall because I wasn't paying close enough attention, Penn State can't succeed because there's 13 other Division I wrestling colleges in Pennsylvania, or some other stupid reason. And then what, Kale goes there and they're the greatest ever. Like Ohio State with Tom Ryan, again, Russ Hellickson had some good years, but there were more that were like, man, in the middle. Tom Ryan goes there and they win a couple of national titles, and they're consistently, this year they're kind of having a down year, but they're consistently in the top 5.
And
Like,
there's,
that's
but
what
hold
good
on.
I
coaches
think Penn
do.
State's a bad example. It's
What?
a huge state school, and it's in the Big Ten.
It's not a bad example. They weren't good till Kale went there.
yeah, and there's a reason Kale went there instead of Lockhaven.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys can make all the excuses you want. Penn State was not good before they went there. And sure, Lockhaven is
But
much
you
harder.
don't agree that some schools might have a ceiling that Penn
Have
State didn't
advantages.
have?
Advantages is what I'm saying. and some
Listen,
schools have
I don't believe
disadvantages.
in ceilings. I don't see ceilings. Yeah, Wisconsin sucked and we're making it better. I don't believe in ceilings. Go make it happen. Stop
Yeah.
being a coward.
Yeah, I think your examples of Ohio State and Penn State are just like it's
They
laughable.
weren't good,
Well, hold on,
Christian.
Ben.
They were not great programs.
I'm not talking about good. I'm talking about
The best.
you can have more success at some programs because they have inherent advantages. Like West Virginia. I'm blanking.
In Flynn.
Tim Flynn did great things at Edinburgh, but ultimately he's like,
No, they're terrible.
yes, obviously because he's a great coach that shows, but he goes, I need to go somewhere where I can.
Is Tim Flynn a coward because he went to West Virginia?
Yes.
Then no.
No, it's likely because they paid him. But listen, I'm not saying people are cowards but I mean, you guys would have put a ceiling on Edinburgh, but
No.
he got that. I think he got them as high as 3rd place.
He did.
Like, that's pretty damn close. Like, you guys would have put a ceiling before Brian Smith got to Mizzou. You would have put a ceiling on Mizzou significantly lower than, I think they've been 3rd twice. You would have put the ceiling a lot lower than that.
I don't think you
when
can
guys talk
compare
about
Edinburgh to
ceilings,
Mizzou in that way. Just based
but
off of
they both took 3rd place.
I know, but I'm saying if you're gonna put it I think the point about Edinburgh is a really good point because that school you would put a ceiling on. Mizzou, I don't know necessarily I would have put the same ceiling on it.
Isn't that they couldn't win a trophy or maybe even a team title one year? But it's that it's going to be easier. The statistical probability of you having
I didn't say
success.
it wasn't going to be easier. I didn't say easier or harder. I said possible. I
Well,
said
that's
possible.
what I'm saying. That it's going to be
And
easier. and more
like
likely
Mark
at some
Cody's never
schools.
been able to replicate it, but he got American to 5th place. So when you guys are saying about ceilings crap. Like, okay, third place. Now Mizzou hasn't won a national title. We came really damn close a couple of times. And I'm sure some of these other programs will be able to come close. So when you're saying ceiling, what's your ceiling? 2nd place, 1st place? I don't know. That's a pretty high ceiling. That's a pretty high ceiling to me. 2nd place, 1st place, 3rd place. Where do you want to put the ceiling? I'll put it really damn high. If you get the right person in the right program, they can take that program and elevate it to really, really high levels. Can they win a national title every year? No, but a ceiling means how high you can finish.
Well, that's what I'm
And if
saying.
you can finish in 1st or 2nd, that's
I
a
get
high
what you're
ceiling.
saying.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The right coach, a good coach, can win at any program. But what I'm saying is there are some major advantages some programs have that some don't.
Going in the circle now.
No one argued that. I never made that statement. Never made it. Not once. You're straw manning me.
All right, is there anything else we want to talk about before we end the show?
No.
One interesting
Listen,
thing.
I want to formally apologize for having too much energy for Christian Piles to keep up with today.
Well, no,
I did cut him off I cut him off
1,000
10 times. I'm sorry. I freaking Bitcoin's at its all-time high. We killed it yesterday. I got a workout in. I was in the sauna. I came ready to bring the freaking heat. I apologize for how much heat I brought.
Ben's full of heat shock proteins right now.
Yeah.
Ah!
And hot dogs.
And hot dogs.
That was beef.
This is probably not the best question to end the show on, but I thought it was really interesting. Would Makai have, if Makai bookends his career with titles, would that be the largest gap between titles ever, 2019 and 2024?
Oh.
I just think that's a little fun question.
Gotta be.
Unless there was someone who won one like before World War II and after World War II.
Well, I can't even think of anybody else who won one
Maybe?
like freshman and senior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that's got to be up there. There's a lot of anomalies with this COVID red shirt nonsense. It would be crazy if he went out with a title. Although, is he? All right, a line comes out for the national champion at
We know what we know
174
about Carter
pounds.
Starocci now and in this scenario. We don't know for sure.
What is the betting line going to be at 174? I think
Ooh.
I don't think you put a
Smart money ain't putting their money on 174.
Scared money don't make money.
What if the
Yes, take your money to a different weight class.
well,
Take all your money to negative 600 Penn State.
Take your money and put it in Bitcoin, according to Ben.
That too. That's 100%.
all right, let's roll. I'm tired of talking. I'm not getting to talk. So annoying.
If I have to pick a national champion at 174 right now, I'm still picking Carter Starocci.
I
Assuming
agree.
he's wrestling and is. I don't think he needs to be 100%, but he'll be healthy enough to get the job done.
All right, thank you,
Christian. You
Josh.
can have the last word.
Goodbye. Thank you, Josh. We'll see you Wednesday at 8:30. Later.
I think we're still. Oh, there we go.